All right, hush up there. How's it going? What's up, Matt? Invite to speak. Okay, sent you an invite there.
Yo, what's good,
How's it
Keith?
going? Ah, man, not
Yeah, pretty
much.
well, brother.
Dude, this has been crazy. Like trying to figure out how to actually look at my Instagram analytics without like just doing it off of the mobile app. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, apparently, there's no way to do it. Even like if you download an app onto your desktop, you can't do it without actually just watching or actually using your phone. Oh, hey, Stephanie. Oh, all right, big time now. Stephanie's here. All right, I'll go on
Oh
video
shit,
here
we
real
got
quick
Stephanie
and
and Sheehan.
Sheehan. You hear that, baby? Um, Matt, you're from New Zealand, right? And I'm from the U.S. This is
Yeah,
a
boy.
crazy pairing. Go ahead and put myself
We
on
got
video real quick, man.
Aotearoa's finest.
Do what, Mo?
We got Aotearoa's finest with America's finest.
Oh, I've been called a lot worse, so I'll take that.
God damn.
Oh, there we go. What's up? So
It was
you
good,
had a
brother.
couple of questions. Man, my YouTube, that's what's good right now. Not to brag, I'm
Yeah.
pretty kind of weird still about that, but it's like I keep telling everybody, it's not about making the best videos all the time. It's just about posting consistently and keeping up with trends, and also knowing how to package each post correctly. It sucks that a lot
Yeah.
of people don't get their videos watched just because they don't know how to post it correctly. You know,
That's
there's
definitely
so
the
many
case, I
videos out
reckon.
there, but you had the questions about Instagram, correct?
Yeah, that was the main concept. Oh my god, we got Think Out Podcast, massive fan of the show, just waiting for them to invite me on it, to be honest. God damn.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you right there.
Oh yeah, fuck. That
Okay,
better?
I remember pretty much what your question was. Um, and
Yeah.
it was about how to see like when your followers were online, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, you go to Insights. My numbers are way down. Oh, that hurts to look at. But once you get to the Insights page, you hit total followers, and it'll take you to this page right here. It'll show you like ups and downs, like where I haven't been posting this week or last week very much on Instagram. I've actually lost 5 followers, so it's important to keep up with it. And then it'll show you like where your most of your followers are from, like New York, Los Angeles, Lagos, Nigeria. Who'd have thought? Chicago, and then my town. And then it shows age ranges here. But this is where you're looking for most active
Mm.
times. So at 12 a.m., you got like on mine, I would say 719 people online Friday at 12 in the morning till 3 a.m. 413, 612. And you see this uptake right here.
Yeah.
This is where I like call it the sweet spot, because if you post between 6 and 9 a.m. usually, or between 9 and 12, you can ride that uptake, and like, you'll get the benefit. Like all the people that are just getting on Instagram will see it, and if you keep posting consistently at that time, then people will start to look for it, and Instagram rewards you for being consistent and easy to palette for the algorithm, basically.
Yeah.
So let's see. And you can switch through each day of the week to which ones they're all relatively the same. The only time that you'll really see a difference is on the weekends, which is kind of to
Yeah.
see. You go to days and it's pretty much just a straight line.
Let me just check that now.
And like, can you do? Are you trying to find it on yours right now?
Yeah. Just clicked on. So, yeah, all the days are basically identical for me.
Yeah, yeah. The days will. But beyond that,
But
there are things that you can like kind of guess if you know who your audience is, like say where they're at and everything. Because where mine is a lot in Los Angeles, that's 3 hours behind where I am, so I have to kind of like cater my post to that time, to the time zone. So if I want people to look at it, in one of these like good uptake hours, I have to like post date it like 3 hours.
yeah,
So I'd have to, just say if I want somebody to look at 9 a.m. there, I have to post it at 12 p.m. here. But another thing is you got to think about is like what age, like the age range. So I'm like in the golden zone here, like, 18 to 24 and 35 to 44. You have to take into consideration like, oh, what time are they going to be on lunch break? What time are they going, like getting up, and getting ready for work or school or whatever it is they're doing. So, like,
yeah,
kind of take into consideration their schedules, and that'll help you out a lot. But you can go like it helps you go all the way back to see 90 days. Let's see, and gives you like graphs like this, and you can like day by day you can see what your like follows and unfollows is. Like I don't know what I did this day to get 116 follows or 120 follows and then four unfollows, but like you can go back and look at it and be like, okay, how do I recreate that? And it's still all pretty much the same. But another thing that will help you is if go to your insights again. If you want to see like your best posts, go to accounts reached. Oh man, those numbers are making me sad.
yeah. Those
Or
numbers are
top
like
real
much better than
refresh
all of my
numbers.
numbers.
That's what I'm spoiled, man. I don't know. It's bad. Like I've got to the point where I'll delete something usually if it doesn't have like a couple thousand views, and then repost it
Yeah,
later so it actually gets the views I feel like it would get. That was your other question, wasn't it? Like why some videos get like 2,000 views in an hour or so, and some get like none.
yeah.
Oh, is that
So you
right?
reckon a lot of yeah, basically. So you reckon a lot of it's
Oh no,
based on like when you
I
actually
think I've
posted it
lost him. Hmm.
versus like the actual quality of the
Oh,
content.
oh dang, I didn't hear that. It might be my internet. I have like really bad signal where I am, but
Right. Yeah.
we'll see. We can get a clap if anybody can hear me and him both. Just checking because I wanted to hit a couple more topics. There we go. All right, good, good.
I think that's
Okay,
Paul can hear both of
what I was
us.
saying. Sorry, Matt.
Oh man, can you actually? Oh, this has been an awkward talk show where only I can hear you. Can you hear me at all? Or
Okay, all right. I'm gonna pretend like he said, "Why do some videos get a lot of views and some don't?" And um, I'm just trying to work through the technical difficulties here. It's because if you post at certain times of the day, like I was talking about before, then like people are online and people are consuming content more. But if say if you post it at two a.m., you shouldn't expect as many people to watch it as you would say like 9, 10 p.m. like during business hours and whatnot. Especially during like now dinner's a big time because who talks to their family whenever they're like eating dinner? I mean, not me. That
yeah,
that sounds terrifying. Oh, I heard a yeah right there. Thank God he's here.
yeah. I've
But
been here the whole time.
it gives you, like I said, a breakdown here of all of all the videos that you've got and which ones are like highest performing. Blah 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 blah. And impressions. That's only last 7 days. Sorry. Let's see, last 90 days. It used to give you up to a year, but I don't know why it stopped doing. I guess that was a lot of data for it to. Oh, this is a classic. Right about now would be a good time to talk about toxic femininity. See, yeah, right in the middle of the Johnny Depp, you know, Will Smith, all this bullshit that's going on, and you post topics that are current, like you get paid for it pretty much. See, it's like
Yeah.
15,000 accounts reached. I reckon. Yep, it did. It sure cut out. Holy shit, there we go. I heard a noise. Don't you play me off Fireside. This isn't the Oscars. You don't. Or it might be. Holy shit. Wow. Wow, thank you. Thank you for all the music. That's amazing. All right, wow. Wow. Now, shut up. Know your spot. Really? God damn it. Oh, wow. Thank you, Fireside, for all that fucking music. You know, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. No, I wouldn't switch Wi-Fi's. Move on with my life. Holy shit, Rock.
Hey,
What's
what's
going
going
on,
on?
man? Dude, I don't know. It does this every time. Like, if you haven't noticed.
No,
Like with
I
mine.
haven't noticed. I just want to know if anyone in the audience likes pies.
Oh, any pie lovers out there? Anybody likes
Anyone like
3.14s?
pies? Shane, looking your way. Uh,
Yeah.
no,
It's
not really.
yeah. Yeah.
So I've got my little girl. She's sitting on me. She's got all this fucking rainbow music and shit, and I'm just gonna knock that shit off because it's hard at the best of times, and I'm on Fireside right now. Can you turn that shit off? How old do you think you are? God damn it! I think you're nearly 3. Okay, yeah.
All spoken like my
Yes.
true friend.
How you been, man?
Oh man, I've been doing pretty well. Can't complain too much, you know. What's up, Paul
Yeah,
Votto?
Paul Votto is a legend.
What's
Paul
up?
look
What's
good
up?
too.
I'm learning so much with
Yeah,
YouTube. Thanks, man.
man. Rock. Oh, I was gonna say congratulations on having a #1 trending show on Fireside, man.
For half a second, yeah. I mean, the funny thing is that I noticed that the shows trend their way up to the top, which is great. This happened to me a dozen times. However, if I capture that and make a post about it and tag Fireside, it gets pulled literally hours later or overnight for me, and I don't know why. I
Oh,
don't. I
really?
don't think. That, well, I've seen the pattern enough to now think that that's happened too many times. Yeah. So AC made a post about it like yesterday my time, and it was gone by the time I woke up this morning. Happens every time.
Gone.
What?
So completely
What?
pulled.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know if maybe I'm drawing some attention that's not really it might be stepping on toes or unwelcomed. I think I may have mentioned this to you before, Paul. Did I? I may have mentioned this to you before that this has happened.
Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
when you post about it, or on social media, then all of a sudden it dips. Uh,
yeah, and literally happened again. AC made a post 24 hours ago about trending number one. I I reposted it, tagged our name in it, and I tagged Fireside in it, and then woke up this morning gone. And it only went up yesterday when you told me, Paul.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And normally they sit there for a while, and it dropped to like number 7 or 8, which I don't really give a shit, but it just seems strange.
Yeah, that's really odd. Do you like mention Fireside directly through a at in the post
Yeah, I do. I
or
tag them, but I think it's like marketing, right? So part of the reason why it's done is that it's creating like a resume in future if sponsors want to say, "Oh, who are you? What have you done?" Well, you can go back on the timeline and see, "I hit number one here and there," or whatever it is, right? It's not a huge deal, but it helps. It all helps, and not a big deal. So I've got it captured, so it doesn't really matter. But I just wonder. My biggest concern is: am I pissing somebody off by doing it? That's the question. Am I pissing someone off by doing it?
I, I wouldn't think so
I wouldn't think
because
so either.
you know
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
any eyes are good eyes at the beginning like stages, like the beta stages of an app, which I guess they're not in beta any longer, but
Hmm. I don't know. So I probably wouldn't mind having a word because if they go, yeah, we don't like it when you do that, I'll be like, oh, cool, I just won't do it. That's cool. That's no problem.
yeah, exactly.
But if they're like, oh, no, we're not, and I'll be like, well, something the hell's going on.
Like,
But
you won't
it's
play
not.
shadow games
I
with me
don't
for.
define. Yeah, I don't define myself off that anyway. It's just nice when it happens, and if it doesn't matter. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's like me with YouTube and Walt every other
That's
app.
fucking brilliant. I was talking about it before this show. I was on stereo with AC and Worm, and we're talking about viral things and about how impressive it was where your clips went viral as fuck, like crazy. Caught a trend, man. You caught the right the right uh, the right topic at the right time.
Yeah, and I sold a little bit of my soul to do it. Like, goddamn, do I not give a shit about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, but other people do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So I just cranked out some like mindless content, and Jesus Christ, it got ate up.
Well, Paul also had a clip that just went viral not long ago. It was brilliant. So I didn't realize, Paul, I'd seen that clip with the guy that falls back onto the piano, right?
Yeah.
I saw that before I realized it was yours, and then when you said it went viral, I was like, "Holy shit! I've seen this before already."
But it's
So
because it's yeah. I mean, it's been around. I just took it from someone else, and then kind of doctored it up by throwing Phil
yeah,
Collins on there,
yeah,
and
Exactly.
and then somebody was like, "Well, you should, if you're doing TikTok, you should be doing, people want to see you." Like, fuck that. Every time I put my face on something, I get 100 views, But if
Yes.
so
No,
forget that. No
he's
one
not
wants to see my
kidding.
face.
He's right. This is what I was talking about before because here I am saying like, Worm asked me the question, "How do you think?" Because I had a picture about 10, 12 years ago on Facebook went viral. It was just me holding a sign, pulling the birdie, telling you remember on Facebook back at least a decade ago, people would say like, "If I can get 100,000 likes, my dad's going to buy me a puppy" and all this shit. Right? There's so many of those things
Yeah.
coming out.
Like,
I held a
I'll stop
sign with like,
smoking.
yeah, all that stuff, right? I just said like, if I get 100,000 likes, I'll punch the next person that makes a stupid sign like this or something like that, and it went viral. It got a couple 100,000 views, and I just watched it grow. So I was saying, I understand how Keith was what he's going through with the YouTube experience. Just 5, 6, 7 million views is crazy, man. That's huge. That's massive, right? Um,
Yeah.
but Webb said, "What do you think made it go viral?" And I'm like, I don't know because I do those podcasts with like the Holocaust survivor. For me, that was like fantastic. Deep stories about death and misery and how this guy's come out of this terrible
Yeah.
situation, right? To me, that should go viral, but it doesn't. And then you can put two midgets slapping each other with a water drop, and it's like, poof, off it goes.
Exactly. Yeah. You're talking about like existential like crises and shit like that, and like the highs and lows of human condition. But no, no, we want fart jokes. This is the internet. Did you forget where you were?
Exactly. Exactly.
So, you put thought into this. Thought this motherfucker thought in this. This is TikTok. We don't like thought here.
Yeah.
Paul, I mean, you guys are both right though. Like whenever I put like any video that shows my face, especially as the thumbnail, it's like nothing. Like, but if I like make my own thumbnail and leave it vague or anything like that, then I've noticed that it does draw a little bit more. But man, I thought my face was my selling point, but now it's made me a little bit. I'm really got a complex now.
Yeah, no, it's not. You need like a dildo windscreen wiper, and that's going to be going viral. It's just crazy.
No, I needed just to go take a picture of my windshield wipers. All right, on top of that, I mean,
Dildo windscreen
using
wiper.
dildo.
It's different.
Yeah, I've been using dildos for years, man.
Yeah, just stick it on your car window. It'll be fine.
Already there, dude.
So
But
yeah, it's
yeah,
it's mental. I just don't get it. But anyway, so what? Tell us the results about what you got from that. So, what was your subscription value at on YouTube before that, and how many sort of, if you remember, how many hours of views you had on that at the time before? I'm not sure if you checked that before. I think you would have because you're pretty analytical. And then after that boom with the viral videos, like what growth was it?
oh yeah, I can actually show you on my YouTube studio right here. It's like one thing that they don't really talk about. Like nobody ever really talks about what to do while you're going viral, how to like capitalize
How
off
to
of that. Like I've never heard
manage it? So,
anybody.
what sort of counseling?
Yeah, you know how to maintain your ego and whatnot since you're kind of a minor
It's
celebrity.
crazy, but the feeling's unreal when it's happening. You're like, holy shit! And I remember, I mean, this was only Facebook, and it was only a couple 100,000, which is nothing compared to, especially with the views that you've got. But still, when the first time it happens, and it's the only time it's happened, um, you you're like, great, like this is getting seen. You don't know how to take it, right? Especially a decade ago with the internet being a lot newer to us than what it is now, right? But then when the trolls creep in, I felt, and I'm one of those guys that loves to take on a troll, as Paul knows as well, and you do,
Oh,
too, Keith.
yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
Um,
things to hear.
but like the trolls come left and right, man, on there. And I felt I had to get every single one of them. And I did. Every single motherfucker that wrote something bad, I had to get into a war with. Hey, so I had like a dozen wars going on for days. And my brother's like, bro, you're letting it consume you. I'm like, yeah, but he said this. He's like, so what? And this is the time I started to realize, yeah, so what? Like, this is when I had to calm myself down because I was getting all ropeable about it. And that's why it's crazy, man. Yeah.
See, I couldn't actually keep up with all the comments on mine. Like, some of them, like this one video here's got like 5,000 comments. The other one's got
Wow.
3,000. Like, it just, I couldn't, like, and if I did, I probably would have lost my mind. I'm going to turn on video on mine for a second, so I might
Go
not
ahead.
be able to hear you guys that well, but I'll run through everything really fast and then go back off
Yeah,
video to
sure.
see if that helps.
Did those? I think I know the answer, but did
Oh, I
those
was right.
views count towards your hours watched, or no, because it's short?
Analytics. Okay.
I think he can't hear us properly when he's on camera for some reason. That's what the issues he was having before, Paul. So we might have to wait till he comes off
Look,
before he
that is
can hear us.
ridiculous.
Can you hear us,
Up,
Keith?
up
Because you're a
56,000%.
pretty ugly fella. Yeah.
You got a small dick.
Your head's too big for your body.
That's bananas.
You like dog wiener?
Like,
Your neck's so
I'm still
long
getting
that
like
when you got a neck
and
tattoo, they charge you for a leg sleeve.
I actually heard that one. Holy shit! I'm not used to hearing. Like, in the last 48 hours, it goes, I've got 180,000, like 181,000 views. Like
Wow. So
that's
it's
for
still
Johnny Depp
going.
and Amber Heard shit.
It's
Like,
it's
but
still ticking
I'm not.
over.
Oh,
Didn't hear
several
didn't hear
more
the
here.
important stuff.
Yeah, the important stuff here is, if you got one fucking viral video, you're gonna get some others.
So can you hear me, Keith? Can you hear me?
Do you like it in the butt?
But see, they're all like Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Joe Rogan, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Joe Rogan. Like I've got a
Right.
couple here that weren't anything related to that, but say like this one here. I wish it wouldn't be the last little 60 minutes or so, but I can
I
change that.
can't wait to.
Da-da-da-da-da.
I can't wait to shit in your bed.
Analytics, there we go. All right, 1.5 million views on this. Just on a little Joey Diaz thing. So you need. I want to go off video real quick. Well, in 1 second, I'm gonna go off video right after this and
Oh,
talk to you guys like a
you
human.
thought
Oh no, please don't.
But with YouTube, you get monetized
Mate,
after
honestly.
4,000 hours watched and 1,000
1,000
subscribers.
subscribers, yeah.
I've got 153,000 hours.
153,000 hours. Wow. That's just from watching you. Well, you've got loads of clips though, right? But you missed some of the
Yeah.
important questions that we were trying to ask. There was, do you like it in the butt for one? For what's the shit in your bed? No, but for real, is it still growing? Did you say 148,000 views the last 48 hours?
Yeah.
So it's
180,000.
It's still just ticking over now. Like it's a machine that's just, it's obviously not as high as at the start, but it's still turning over.
Oh yeah, I'm not the captain of this ship anymore.
Wonderful. That's so great. And so you put one clip that went viral, but did you put another one straight after that, and that caught that viral trend too, caught the wave?
Yeah. I took full advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a
Damn.
lot of people don't talk about like what happens when you start getting a little bit of traction on YouTube or any of the social media apps with your videos. Is that whenever you do, it's not time to sit there and just soak in the likes. Like,
Time to get to work, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I know that it feels like going from like a Tylenol to taking heroin. Whenever you go from like zero, like 100 views or 100,000 on something to like a million, it's a big
Sure.
jump.
Huge.
But it's like my friend Matt was asking, the one that I started this show with. He said, "How do you know whenever it's just a what?
sorry.
I don't know what
Oh,
happened there.
oh, you're good." He was asking like, how do you know whenever your video is just like no good, or if you just need to pull it and repost it in a different way? And I guess it's up to you. I feel like whenever you put out good content versus like if you feel good about it versus if you're like, fuck it, I want to toss this up here and just leave it. Or if you
We're talking
get
about videos,
really,
right?
yeah, or if you get really low views, say you get like 400 views and 100 likes on something, then yeah, repost that shit because that's a great engagement rate versus if you get like 60,000 views and 200 likes. Because if you do the second one, then that's just Instagram has like thought that your content would serve another purpose, like how if you put certain music behind your reels, then it gets a push too because music labels pay Instagram to like push the content of certain artists more than others.
I hate the Facebook IG algorithm bullshit because of the way it flags you and stuff like that. Facebook's more strict than Instagram, even though they're the same company. I get flagged so much for little music things, like tiny music things, little like 3 seconds, 5 seconds of shit,
Oh
all
yeah,
the time. Yeah,
bro, YouTube is so much more anal about it than even
yeah.
Facebook.
You say YouTube's more anal about it. I think we've been cool. Like I think we've got flagged once or twice. Okay. For AC's part of his intro, the intro music for Shotgun Candy, his part of his intro
Okay.
music.
Well, See, there's a little bit of a difference between there's content violations and then there's copyright infringements. See, content violations just mean that you're using maybe a sound that um, is copyrighted by somebody else, but doesn't technically using it doesn't infringe on the copyright, and that's fine. Like YouTube will let that fly, but you're not eligible for monetization, or it doesn't count towards your goal or your subscription count or like your hours watched, any views that come from that video. So you don't have to do anything about it necessarily, but if
Right,
you get
right. Yeah, that's
flagged,
what I've had. Yeah, that's what I've had.
yeah. Okay, so you're still in the good. Also, if you do that, you can go through what's called copyright school on YouTube, and it'll
Mm-hmm.
remove those, which it just takes like
Okay, how do you
10
do that?
minutes.
Okay.
Open YouTube on your browser and go
Uh-huh.
to your YouTube Studio
Yep.
where it shows your analytics, and wherever it shows your copyrights or your flags, there should be a little thing, an option where it says go to copyright school, and
Mm-hmm.
it only takes. And if you can't find it, like while we're on here, I don't care a bit to like show you step by step. Like it just goes and asks you certain questions about copyright. You answer them, and then boom, that is erased off of your profile
Okay, I'll do that.
for the first time.
Yeah, I'll
Like,
do.
but you get 3 strikes, so technically you get 4. But
Okay.
you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
want to
Because
stay on top
you've
of
had
it.
other channels been removed before, haven't you?
That's from TikTok. Yeah, they hate crack jokes
TikTok,
on
right?
TikTok.
Right. Right.
Like I think altogether on TikTok I've lost like 30,000 followers.
Yeah. Okay. I can't even. I haven't focused on TikTok and how to build an audience and stuff, but I think I'm not sure how many you got there. 2, Keith. I think Paul's got quite a few over there. Now, Paul, how many views did your viral clip get?
Well, which one? Because I had one on Instagram that just it was really my first one that went viral because before I only had my highest was maybe 17,000 views, and then this one the one with the two dogs like ghost fucking uh,
Yes, or that.
to pump
Yeah.
up the jam. Uh, I don't know if I made up the word ghost fucking, but I assume that
I like it. I'm
that's
going to use it from now on.
No, I think Patrick Swayze
It's what I do to people,
patented that
except
one.
I use a real person instead of a ghost.
so that one I got like two. I think it's up like 280,000.
Nice.
And then the one on TikTok, the one with the English dude that
Yeah.
comes in and like the drum solo for the Phil Collins song. That I think maybe like 780,
Sorry, how many? It just dropped out.
Damn.
How many?
like 780,000.
Oh, wow. Nice. Nice.
But I'd like to hit
But
one of these. That's the thing. It's like and then I have maybe 500,000 views on YouTube, but I've had that channel for 16 years. And when I first started, my stuff would always, I mean, like my butt copier video where I photocopy my butt and I fall in, that has maybe like
oh my,
60,009, but on other people's channels, like over 11 million views.
yeah,
You know,
that's
Mm.
it. What? That's you?
yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's it.
Know that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I I think about that video once a week.
that's it.
For real, that's him. It's not a joke. You can
Yeah.
go to his
Uh,
page and see it there.
If you
holy
think you
shit.
can do something with it, or if you want to, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we could do. If you can think of something that you want to do, whether it's we talk about it or I don't know, like we're security guards and we're looking at it. I don't know. Well, you tell me.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, like security guards were like, "Holy shit, check this guy out! You thought that the bathroom from last week was funny? Jesus, get a load of this guy." The
Yeah, it
copier
was.
tried to.
Yeah, it was a commercial for Netscape Navigator back in the day. Obviously, they went
How
out
did
of.
Or
you? Did you just lean on that glass for it to break, or was it like? Was there a trick?
Yeah,
no,
yeah, there was
no.
a trick to it.
It's like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
actually weren't even filming. That was just me jerking around, and that's what they used.
yeah,
And the
exactly.
office camera
No,
caught it.
no. I went. It was kind of embarrassing. I think I've told this story before. I go into wardrobe. It took longer, I think, to do wardrobe than we actually shot. So I went in. They showed different clothing options. The director's like, okay, I like that one. And then he's like, all right, we're gonna have to measure. We're gonna have to measure his ass. We're like, I'm like, oh fuck. So we go up to the stoop. We go outside, like on the concrete stairs of this place, of their production office. So I sit down, I sit down, and then they take those measuring rulers, like two L's that just go out, So they were using that to like just outline my ass, and then the guy's like, no, bigger, it has to be bigger because he's got to fall in. He can't just like kind of crack it; he has to fall into it. So when I got to the set, the thing was massive. They literally took like two copiers, cut them in half, gutted them, and then kind of assembled them back together, but with more material in the middle. So from the angle that it's at, it looks like a normal size copier, but it was probably twice the size of a regular copier. And then so it was hollow on the inside. The light you see is like those lights that they use, like for premieres, like a small version of that swivels, a light that is not like on a switch, and then it just swivels back and forth. And it was so they had a car jack in there, and on that car jack they had plexiglass bolted to the car jack. So it was plexiglass, and then they jacked it up to the opening, and then they laid a piece of candied glass on top of it. And for those that don't know, the candied glass is like what they use to throw people through windows. They don't really throw you through a window; they throw you through candied glass. So it kind of looks like glass and acts like glass, but it's made from sugar and it's baked or whatever. And same thing with like beer bottles that they break over your head. Um, so they had like 10 pieces of that candied glass ready to go, already cut to the size. So they basically put that on top, and and then they're like, hey man, would you mind actually dropping everything? Like, I'm like, well, I mean, shit, I'm getting paid. So I'm like, yeah. I go, no, I don't mind. I'm like, I don't mind. I go, but can I cut myself? Like, is it dangerous? Not that a little piece of thin fabric of underwear would protect me. And they're like, no, man, no, no, no. It's. I'm like, well, why is there a paramedic? Why are there paramedics here? And they're like, well, because you're falling and your back might hit it. I'm like, oh, all right, all right. So yeah, yeah. I go, sure. They're like, we'll give you like stunt pay. I'm like, well, I mean, I just don't want to get hurt. I don't, I'm putting my privates up there. They're like, nah, you'll be fine. Like, all right. So sure enough, so we do it, and it went flawless. We did it 3 times. The third time, the director's like, I don't know. He goes, they're all perfect. He goes, we're going to use one of them. He goes, we're done. I mean, I would probably were in and out in like a couple hours, which is unheard of for a commercial shoot. And then I was like, really? I go, so this candied glass can't cut you? And then the guy's like, oh, he goes, fuck no, yeah, it can cut you. And I'm like, wait. I'm like, so I'm like, so that's how I got the nickname One Ball Paul. No,
Oh, Uniball, perfect spokesperson for Uniball
Ball Paul.
pens.
No. It went off without a hitch. But yeah, no, it can cut you because it does act sometimes like glass if it gets you at the right angle or
Sure,
whatever.
it does. Yeah, that's right. That doesn't matter if it's sugar, man. You can absolutely, the right angle can get you.
Sure.
You can
I
get
mean,
cut by paper. I mean,
yeah, look at those candy canes that you would fashion into a shiv when you were a kid. So yeah, I mean, it's sugar.
right? Did all kids do that? I've been afraid
Yeah,
to ask. I guess are we just
I think so.
inherently violent and just making shanks as children?
I, I think so, man.
Just like
But
poking like
Wow.
stick pins through your thumbs and shit, like look at me.
ah,
And so, did you get well paid for that sort of? What was stunt pay? What sort of an increase
oh,
was that to put your
it's
balls?
it's like an extra, and it's not really because a stunt person would have been like, no, you got to pay me for the whole day, and one stunt or how many ever stunts. So no, I think that I got like an extra three or $400, but I was like, okay. I mean, I wasn't gonna say no, and
Oh, you need me
and
to negotiate for you.
yeah, I know, but I don't know if I don't think it was one of my first commercials, but I was like, this is so fucking easy, and we're almost done. I'm like, fuck it, yeah, I'll drop my underwear too. But I could have probably asked him for a second pair, but I was like, fuck it, let's just do it. Let's let's get it over with.
Never underestimate what a thin piece of fabric can actually shield you from, just
Yeah,
from
yeah,
experience.
yeah. I mean, look at motorcycles and shit like that. But yeah,
Like it's funny. Like my best, I just sent Rock like a screenshot of like my best performing reel, and it's a joke. It's a stupid smart joke about like incest. But it only got 6,000 views on Instagram. But between Facebook and Instagram, like together, I guess that was whenever they first paired. Like it's like 1.5 million.
1.5 million.
damn. Now, let me ask you this: are you uploading to Facebook separately, or because every
Nope.
single okay? Because only this last one that got 280 views or 80,000 views. That's the only one that's probably gotten 20,000 views on Facebook. Every single other one literally has gotten 0 views because I don't want to waste my time posting to Facebook because I don't know if I should be posting to my personal page, my fan page, or my business page. So
Oh yeah,
and it's.
bro.
Do you know which one?
Like yeah. I it's kind of a toss up. Like what I do usually is I'll let Reels do whatever it wants to with my videos on Instagram, like
Sure.
and post them to Facebook because I can never see those videos on Facebook for some reason.
Yeah, me neither.
Like
I'm the same.
if it,
Hmm.
yeah, if it posts through Instagram, but I also post them like if it's a good video, I think we'll get traction or views, then I'll post it to the Reels on Facebook myself. And whenever I do that, I've got like 1 million views on Facebook in this last 2 weeks too.
So it makes a
So
difference then. You're
like I
saying
hear,
post it separately makes a difference.
yeah, yeah, for sure, it makes a huge difference. See, I'm
And
looking at like one video. uh,
are you
Do
posting
what?
on your personal page or on your? Do you have a business or fan page, or are you just posting on your personal page, just like to your timeline?
This is my Keith Burr, like my regular comedy page. Like I made this one just for Reels.
Okay, so it's not your business. I mean, it's not your personal
Yeah,
page.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really post anything on my personal page. Like, old me's dead.
Yeah,
Like,
I get you. I'm the same, man. I started a separate Facebook for Rocksteady, Facebook and Facebook page for the Rocksteady podcast, and like my normal Facebook, I just don't even use anymore. And if I do
yeah,
post the odd thing about a show or something, I get less interaction on my page with like a couple of thousand people I've known all my life to strangers that are on my like new Facebook page and account.
exactly. Never
It's
forget
bullshit.
about the kindness of strangers versus the fucking
Yes,
cruelty of friends.
absolutely, spot on. Like I've only just come to find that the last 12 months is that your friends are very rare. I mean, you might have less than a handful of friends that are supportive, like real life friends. All the rest, including my own siblings, don't give a fuck. And like I've got a obviously my two parents, and I'm the oldest. I've got a sister who's a year younger than me, a brother who's 4 years younger than me, and a little brother who's 6 years younger than me. My littlest brother, he supports. He comes in and listens to the shows, not through Fireside, but through Facebook or YouTube, right? But my other my brother and sister and their partners have never seen one show, will never ask me how it's going. They know that I'm on this track. I think they think it's ridiculous and they won't even entertain the slightest way of like support. So
Uh,
just
yeah, yeah.
it's this journey showed me how fucking disconnected we are, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I told I've said this a couple times to different people. It's like everybody wants you to succeed until you start succeeding.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
really easy it's really easy because I felt like a lot of people like gauged themselves like and where they were like and how happy they were by like me whenever I was depressed before I was like I found what I really loved doing and started finding like even just a modicum of success in it because they're like, oh, that's the depressed. As long as I'm doing better than him, then I'm fine by comparison. But
Mm-hmm.
you start doing better, and they're like, oh, fuck that guy.
Well, I posted an Instagram clip just I think last week, wasn't it, Paul? I tagged Paul in, and I think I might have tagged you in it, Keith. Remember that one that's saying that woman who's saying that like everyone wants you to succeed till you succeed. You're basically the moment that you're starting to do well, everyone wants to pull you down. And I'm just finding that along the way is that I never thought much of it before. And then, like, you're doing something and it starts to work, and then you start to notice the haters come out. It's like, holy shit. People that you've known for a long time, people that have been by your side to a certain point, they may be getting jealous. And there's nothing to get jealous about. It's just that they're just, it might seem like you're vain posting your own shit in front of their face or something, but all you do is you're focused on a task and track to get there. And I guess the more momentum you get behind you, the harder you focus, the harder you drive, and it looks to someone else like something else. I don't know, but they start to bring you down. And so that woman's advice was like, when the elephant keeps walking, let the dogs keep barking. So let them bark, let them whinge, and
Oh yeah,
just keep
yeah, I
going
do
on about your
remember that.
journey. Yeah,
She's absolutely right too.
she's so right.
It's sad. Like Paul, have you had anything like any encounters like that, or has that been your
And
experience as
before you
well?
answer that, Paul, I would find it hard to imagine people around you would. And I'm not saying that you and I are like bad people, Keith. I'm just saying, like, Paul's such a bubbly, fun person that if there was people around him not wishing him well because of his success, I'd be so surprised, but then not surprised because this is exactly the track it takes. So I'd be interested to hear your answer to what Keith's question
Yeah.
was.
Plus, you've been in it longer than we have, so you've been able to kind of, I
Gauge it,
guess,
yeah.
curate your friends group too.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't even paying attention to you guys, but no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I have that negativity around me. Uh, Even in Hollywood, where people think that everyone's fake there or not. But I think that they're some of the most honest people because everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants to succeed in this with the stuff that we're doing. So it's almost very honest. And it's not like they're screwing each other over. It's just everybody kind of has their eye on the prize, and sure, some people are just more selective with their time, where it's like if you're going to a party, you're going to pick the party that might lead to something else. So I could see that where people might think that way. But I feel like I've called all, is that the right word, all those people out of my life. Anyone that might have,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I was going to add to what you're saying there is that right now you've been in it for a long time, so you've surrounded yourself with the people that are on the right track, which is technically us all together too. We're on that track, so we're all supporting each other. Like, there's no problem with that. It's our initial steps that we take. The people that aren't in this game like us, other people that we've grown up with or know that don't understand this, they're the ones that some will be supportive, but there's a lot that aren't. There's a lot that aren't, and I'm quite surprised at that. But again, just ridding them from, I'm not getting them out of my life. I just don't hang with them anymore. Like, I hang with you guys online like this right now. This is how I'm hanging with my time all the time in the scene. And everyone around us, like, this is not everyone, but many are supportive. People that are on this right track. All of us that have been made on Fireside here, as a friends from Stereo to come over to here, we are in supportive groups to push and try and get the best out of it that we can. That's what we're here for.
but I'm also very, and maybe I'm just like they're superstitious on, I won't talk about a project until it's done.
Yeah,
Almost,
sure.
I
yes,
find it.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, I can't because I have an audition tomorrow." But I usually will try not to talk about what it's for because you never know. You don't want other people throwing their bad mojo on you, and it might just
Yep.
be
Yep.
a stereotype. And same with even being careful until I've shot something, it's in the can, and it's almost like, well, it'd be very hard for them to cut me out of this. If it is, it's because the story went in a different direction, as opposed to losing a job the day of there, or So I just try to stay low, show up, do the work, and then when it's done, then talk about it because I know that now at least it's been filmed. They can't take it away from you unless they go in a totally different direction and your whole thing got cut out of the story. But if you're part of the story, an important part, you know that that's not going to happen. So I don't know. I guess I'm still a little superstitious sometimes.
No, it's a good way to be because they can't bring you down. I'm the same. Like, if there's a project that I'm thinking about though, or what have you, like, I'll bounce the idea or the thought of what I'm going to do. Like I have just to you recently, Paul, with that interview thing I want to do. Right? It's like I want the feedback from my friend, from my very close friends, but I certainly won't put it out there publicly for people to shoot down, or I don't give a shit. I don't want to be one of those, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I want to do it. And then I want to say I've done it. Like, where are you at now, motherfucker? Type thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm still in that culling stage where I'm trying to figure out like who's there for me, who isn't, and whatnot. Because I noticed whenever I posted on Instagram, I was trying to get to like 4,000 followers. That I was at like 3,990, and after I posted that, I dropped to like 3,000, like 960, 950. Like I lost 40 followers just from that post.
What, people just, they saw you wanted to make it and they unfollowed you?
Yeah,
What? It's
yeah. And I
insane.
was like,
Well, I'd do that. I'd also do that. I'd unfollow if you were real close, just to be like the 4,000th one to like refollow you again, like, as a joke. I wouldn't like unfollow you though. That's crazy.
yeah, it is. It's like,
That's horrible.
hmm.
They're
Oh, I
like,
know. I was like, I'm just trying to put myself
yeah.
into the mentality of like, oh, I'm gonna unfollow him. I showed him.
Yeah, and it's anonymous too, you know?
Yeah, well, it's not for me, but
No. I stalk everyone, last motherfucker.
I used to be real obsessed with that. Now I've just like kind of been like, all right, well, it's not up to those people, regardless. The ones that would unfollow you.
Yeah, so I don't like. Of course, I look at it, but I don't I don't thrive off it. Like, it's nice when you see the numbers are growing, but what I kind of feel is that I I get I get feels for phases. Like, I feel like I'm in a phase where I'm hitting a wall a little bit right now. It's like, that's great, you're building a fan base, you're building a community that you're connecting with, you're doing your shows that are interactive, and you're getting good feedback. But it's the same people, and it's slowly growing. That's good. But like, I want what you've done. What I've realized is through your video going viral on YouTube is that you need to do something to pop. You need to do something to pop through that market, like what you've done, right? And then you add the element of what you're doing with building community. Then you can really, really get some momentum behind you, because it takes a long time to get started. It's a long, hard road.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Keith, this might be a silly question. Uh, and I'm sorry, were you done, Rock? Because that's all
I
like really
wasn't,
good
but you
stuff.
can
And
really
just,
cut me off, Paul. That's fine.
yeah, yeah. Well, this is going to be more important.
Mm,
So
I
Go
love
for it. No, I was
conflict.
finished. I was finished.
I know. I just realized after I was like, well, what about my stuff? No, no. But you're right, Rock. As far as if you're hitting a wall, I mean, you can always kind of step away, and of course you gotta take care of your family. And I don't know how you guys do it. You guys have all these other responsibilities too, So kudos to you guys. So are you monetized now, Keith, on YouTube? Since I mean, do those views count towards your 4,000 hours, which you've crushed? But if it's coming from shorts, do those count?
Not yet. Therein lies the fucking problem. Or I
So
guess
how many hours do you have towards your monetization?
like 2,000
Okay, all
because
right. Well,
because shorts, for some reason or another, I guess where they're so short, it's hard to advertise on them. But
right.
there's also the chance that I get a random email from YouTube saying, "Okay, well, we recognize that you've got this many hours, you've done this for the app, you've gained the followers, you've got the numbers and stuff, but just keep at it, and they'll give you a bonus for the shorts because they made a fund specifically for that." And it's kind of like being selected for the Reels monetization on Facebook, which I don't know if you guys have like been selected for that, but I made like $300 off of Facebook just from views.
No, I haven't. I haven't
No,
got a huge Facebook following. Mine's
yeah.
Well, I don't have a very large Facebook following either. The one I got monetized on had 300 followers, but it was the views that I was like getting that was like stuck out to Facebook, I guess.
And did you just take that content that you put up on YouTube and put that up on Facebook?
Yeah, yeah, or like my TikToks. Well, you can't do TikToks on there. Don't, please God, don't do TikToks because that I ruled myself out of being eligible for monetization like another time because I posted TikTok, and if you post a video from another like platform other than Instagram or Facebook, then like TikTok because they're rivals, then you're instantly taken away out of consideration for it.
Is it because did you leave the watermark on there, or did they know that it was from TikTok even without the water? Did you?
Yeah, well,
Um,
it's because I was lazy with the. I just didn't even think about it. I left the watermark on, and
yeah,
usually I've
exactly.
I've got two copies of each video. Like I've
Hmm.
got the watermark version, then I've got the like the regular version, the original. So
Yep.
I just picked the wrong one. I didn't pay attention to it, and like automatically, like as soon as I was eligible, I went back and it was like I was uneligible, or ineligible.
Got it. Wow.
So you guys actually might be qualified for it. You just have to check on your Reels page, and if there's like the three dots next to your name, it'll say like tools
How do I
and
check that?
whatnot. And
Where do I go right?
Yeah.
let's
We
see,
check that.
I got you. 1 second. Go
On
to
mobile or on your laptop or
on mobile. I'm
okay.
doing it on mobile, so it'll be that way right now.
Is that what you
Go
guys
to
call it,
your
mobile? Because you used to call it
yeah.
cell phone, right? But you don't call it cell phone anymore.
It's
Because there's no
mobile
cell
now,
tower.
buddy.
Okay, I didn't know. I still call it cell phones for the sake of you guys. We don't never said cell phone here. We say mobile, not mobile.
Mobile. It's pronounced mobile.
Uh
Yeah, and
no, it's not.
mobile. No,
Yeah, it does. Mobile's like a car oil, isn't it?
And
mobile
what?
one.
A car
Yeah,
oil.
yeah, mobile one. That's spaceship oil.
There you go.
What they always used to call it in the garage I worked at. I can't believe they let me work there. I said I was a mechanic, and I learned everything I knew off of YouTube. Wildly
Yeah, no.
irresponsible on
So
the.
if I went to I'm out of Fireside right now. I'm going to my Facebook. Is it my Facebook page or my Facebook account I'm looking at?
Your Facebook page. Go to your profile.
Okay.
And do it through your business account or through just going to the page through your manager's account.
Where it could be either one, whichever you post reels on. If you post reels on both, it could be on either, or
All
it could be
right,
on
I
both.
do. So I'll just go to the business page. So now I'm here, and what will I be looking for?
Your uh, reels tag, photos, reels, avatars, music. Then there
Oh,
underneath where it
okay.
says manage posts.
What's real? And then three dots. All I got is report a problem. So I guess I'm not monetized.
Hold on, let's see. You've got see reels. Let me click on it one more time here. Okay. And then you click on reels. Click on one of your reels. Click on your profile picture, and it'll take you to your reel page where it says create a reel. It's got dot dot dot. My reels, save the audio. You guys seeing that?
No, I'm not. I'm
I see a button that says real, like underwear. It says real room group live. Is that
Okay.
like
Nope. Let's see.
where I can post? Or you said
All
hit
right.
the profile picture. So,
Go back to I guess your main profile page.
okay.
All right, and you're looking at your profile picture. Like mine would say Keith Burr, like, and then your introduction, add story, edit profile. You see that?
Yeah,
no. I'll have to look at it another time. I can't see it right now.
Oh, well, that's okay. Do you see where your friends are, or it shows your friends?
Yeah,
All right. Below that, keep going down just a little bit to where it says photos,
yeah.
and then right next to photos, it should say reels.
No, mine doesn't.
oh, you know what? I think I'm on
Oh,
my app page. Let me see. Let me go to my personal page. I wonder if
Mine
that.
says like avatars, music. Did you know?
okay. Yeah. Reels should be there. Um,
Mm,
do you post reels on that one?
No, I don't actually. I post them all from my Instagram. Just thinking about that now, I post it all from my Instagram, and then I allow the reels to go over to Facebook. So where that goes to, I don't know. Yeah, I don't post it direct to my Facebook. The reels.
Oh, yeah, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. No, well, that's why I asked you the question before because I think it sounds like it's important. So
Yeah, definitely. Like, try. I know it takes a little bit more time, but even if you just copy and paste the same description and like you maybe change the hashtags around just a bit, that'll work.
yeah.
As
I'll
long
I'm
as
do
it
just
doesn't
that.
trying to.
have the TikTok like watermark.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna start doing that because I've got a, I've got a ton. Let's
Like I
see.
made like $280 just off of 33,000 views one time. Like that. That's
Like that's just one time, or is it like a month or a week or what?
yeah. That was accumulated over a month. That was before I actually started. Like I knew that I was in it. Like I didn't come into
Right.
like the last. I didn't know. I wasn't aware that I was in the program to the last like 3 or 4 days.
Right. Okay.
So like I accumulated those views over that like 3 or 4 days. But like I
Yeah.
wish that I'd known before because like I'm looking at my reels right now and I've got like 108,000 views on one, like 270,000 views, 578,000, 700 and some thousand. Like so, the maximum that you can make is $35,000.
That sounds pretty good. Let
Yeah.
me see. So, oh, here's reels. Okay, reels. I got create a reel. Now, would my reels be under there? Because I don't think I even have any reels that I've ever put up. So,
Yeah. Well, I can't find any of my reels that Instagram posts on Facebook on my behalf.
okay, yeah,
But the only way that you can tell that is if you go into your Instagram analytics and whenever you
right.
click
It
on
says how many times it was viewed.
yeah, it'll show like Instagram and Facebook views.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start post. I'm gonna take some of my old content and post it. So I guess I'll just post it to my acting page, right? My actor page, not my personal not my personal page.
Wherever you want people to view it at. Like wherever
I'm,
it's most important for you to get views and to get like eyes on your page, post it there.
yeah, probably
I
yeah, because my personal one has almost 5,000 followers. So I don't. I mean, that's almost too full.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
did you post? Sorry, I was just my cousin's just walked up here, so I was just telling him about you the other day with these videos that were involved. And he just asked, did you post it on TikTok as well, or just on YouTube?
I posted it on uh yeah, I posted on TikTok. I got let me see, a couple hundred
Yeah,
thousand
he
or
saw that on
something.
TikTok then. Yeah.
Let me
So
see how many it was on TikTok. It's weird. There's a really big discretion between like how like if you've noticed like anybody that's got a lot of followers on Instagram that you go to their TikTok they have hardly any. If you know somebody that's got a lot of TikTok followers, it's the same
yeah,
like reciprocated on
yeah.
Instagram.
I'm not a TikToker, you know what I mean, and I see others that have got good following on TikTok, but they haven't really anywhere else. Even Instagram, they might have a decent following on Instagram, but still nowhere near it. There's like this Greek family that does like this dad and he dances with his two kids. They're just fucking flowing with followers on TikTok. All they do is just like 30-second dance, you know.
Fucking weird, right?
But a bing, then you're famous on TikTok, and then like you interview like important history of Holocaust survivor, and you don't get fuck all.
I think that
Yeah,
maybe you probably could package it differently for TikTok because TikTok viewers are a little bit different than YouTube viewers. YouTube
yeah,
is a
definitely.
search engine now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that's why keywords whenever you post your videos to make sure that you fill all those out with correct like and relevant keywords like people search for like interview with a Holocaust survivor, survivor of a Holocaust, survivor interview, all the iterations of that like Holocaust, blah blah blah, you know, live podcast,
Where are you
live
finding
content.
the most efficient hashtags though? You just doing a Google search for that?
Well, these aren't hashtags. These are uh, these are
They're
a
just
secondary
keywords.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Whenever you're finishing up your video, you go to the YouTube Studio, and
Yeah.
if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a thing that says where you can add more or
Yep.
extra, and that's where you'll find where to plug in your keywords. Let's see, and a lot of people don't really take the time to even check that out. But you get 500
I've got mine
characters to
set
tell
right.
you do.
But when I did it at the start without understanding this properly, I've put a lot of my keywords in as hashtag keywords. Would that be more powerful? Do you think?
Well, I mean, to enter them in as keywords, I think that I guess they don't have to. No, I think that you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. That's like, say it's a kind of you're double timing basically,
Mm, I see what you
or
mean.
it's a little like I forgot a word, everybody. Hey, what's up? I'm Keith. Sometimes my vocabulary
It's
fails me.
lately.
But yeah, you get 500 characters, like 500 letters, to tell YouTube exactly what your video is about, rather than just trying to find trending hashtags and relevant hashtags. But don't put any more than 15 hashtags on YouTube, because if you do, then that negates all the rest of them before it.
Damn. Oh, I didn't know that. I've got like 30 odd hashtags on every single video.
Yeah, and I was meaning to tell you this before. I don't know if I mentioned it to AC as well. That do not keep posting like your Instagram videos with the same set of hashtags. Like it looks like you've got them copied and pasted to where you can just
Yeah, I
plug them
do.
in. Okay, yeah, that's bad. You Instagram flags that as bot like activity, because it doesn't seem like something. It's not natural. It's not like kind of messy like a person would do, and it
Right.
notices patterns. And so that's how you get like what people call shadow banned, because it is real. And being shadow banned is real, but most of the time, the people that you hear saying, "Oh, I think I'm shadow banned," no, it's not because they're shadow banned. It's because they make shitty content. Like, I'll just
You're
be
shit
honest about
banned.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you said on YouTube, no more than now 15. Does that include the three that pop to the top? Because usually the
Oh,
first three,
yeah.
or is that
Yeah.
15 total or 18? Do you think?
It's 15 total. Those three count towards it.
Okay.
I usually
Where
try
the
to
fuck
only.
do you find those three hashtags? I've looked and searched where the hell I can change those three hashtags, but they're the same everywhere on all my titles. Where do you find them to change them?
Oh, they're the same on all of yours.
Mm,
That means you're using the same hashtags.
Yeah,
It'll take the first three hashtags that you put into the description
right.
and pop them to the top on top of your title.
Right. Okay,
So
damn. All right. I've got some
change
work to
them in the
do.
description, and don't have location set. If you, for some
hmm
reason, if you have your location set, it'll take over that. So mine would say like Las Vegas instead of those three hashtags, or don't put a hashtag in the title either because it'll also negate them.
Oh,
I put
right.
hashtags in
Damn.
all
So
my
there's a whole
titles.
fucking science to this.
What's that, Keith?
I put hashtags in all my titles.
But then you don't get those three hashtags above the title, do you?
Yeah. It puts them in the title as well.
But you actually put hashtags like in your title, and you still get those three above your title, the three little ones.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
Because I was under the impression that if you put a hashtag in your title, because when I've done that, my three hashtags didn't show up.
Yeah, I get them. I'm looking at it now. It doesn't it doesn't take away.
Okay. I've been getting a
It
lot of
should.
Sopranos videos.
Oh shit! There we go. Sorry about that. Okay,
Oops. Sorry.
Cool.
that was my YouTube, I believe.
Oh, was it? Okay.
But yeah, another thing. Let's see. Is like I said, make sure that like if you want to get like just a chance, like a lottery chance or whatever, on Instagram Reels to get views. Find sounds that are trending, or especially sounds that are on like upward take. Ride that, and if you find success with one sound, use that sound over and over again. I don't care if you just post it on like with a if you just post it at 1% volume,
Right.
because if that
Because
hashtag's
you're
performing
saying
well,
like there's those reels where people like they might go boom 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 boom, right, and they'll have that sound and people just flick their eyes or whatever side to side and everyone will do the same movements, but that sounds popular, so you want to take that audio and use it on your own shit because that's trending.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
But it's
Damn.
all about
I mean,
trends.
I thought I knew. I think my posts are solid when I do things this that and the other, but then it's the little tricks about the changing of the hashtags and like and catching on those trends that I'm not knowledgeable enough in, but this conversation is fantastic for that.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm trying to add value here, like even
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it's with no
totally,
video.
totally adding value with you and Paul's input here about just the things that we're doing. It's good to know what I'm doing wrong and what you guys are doing right, and to just change it. Right, this conversation should probably it's see. I think it's such a good fluent conversation because it's not even planned. It's like, this is what I'm doing. What are you doing? Oh, right. That's how you do that. It's like a conversation that hopefully that the listeners here are also getting some value out of, because it all counts towards the big picture, the end goal.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that everybody's end goal is similar but different. Like, it's not that's that feels like a cop out to say, but you want views. That's the
Yeah.
main goal, right? And those views serve different purposes, right?
Yeah. So I think even to where that even deeper, I think that we all want our content to be heard somehow, right? And to do that, yeah, we need the views, and to get the views, we need to do this algorithm. To do this algorithm, we've got to get it fucking right. So yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly. I mean, you gotta be able to dance with it. It's called an algorithm.
Yeah. Alga boogie.
Yeah, I'm. It was pretty apparent that I was wide as shit because I couldn't catch the rhythm worth a damn. Like whenever I first started doing this, I don't believe, but but
But
now,
I've got to say that your dedication is what people don't understand. All right, you've gone ahead and you've for those that are newly that have joined us, is that Keith just recently had a couple of clips from the Johnny Depp trial that he snipped up a couple of shorts on YouTube, and they got what did each of them get, 6 or 7 million views each?
yeah, the most on one of them I think was like close to 8 million, and then the other one before it was like 7.2, and another couple videos of mine added up a couple million views as well, and um, it was just you
Yeah,
find stuff on the internet like that's in long form and you cut it out and show people
yeah.
like the
So,
highlights of shit.
but the point is, I want to say to the listeners here is that he didn't just go out and do that. Keith's been at this every day, constantly, all the time, making content, snipping things until you've got a few things that stick. Like, you're constantly creating content, and if I recall from a conversation that we had a while ago, is that you've got loads of content you haven't even uploaded, and you feel like it's past now. So you're constantly creating. I mean, it's a never ending game for you.
Yeah, yeah, it's compulsive. Like
Yeah.
I don't really have an out in this. I didn't really leave myself a plan B. So
Yeah, so all
yeah.
right. So plan A is to obviously get the views, but how are you trying to monetize that? What are you trying to expose or like label your brand as with your content?
Right now
Comedy.
I can right now I can do stand up in probably all in pretty much all 50 states. Like I have a place that I can go through my content that people have saw and have invited me to or know me well enough to and trust me that I can put butts in the seats.
Okay.
Like
So your
because
your end game is to get the recognition, credibility, and fan base for your comedy shows to do live stand
yes,
up.
Yeah, you
Okay.
get a bit of credibility, like to be like known comedically wise as a safe bet and something. I wouldn't say safe, but somebody that consistently can like put butts in seats and make people laugh. Which
Hmm.
I need to post more of my stand up content, but I kind of wanted to build a foundation first.
Mm.
So, and that's helped a lot. Like what we were talking about, weeding out the people that are like bad for your shit or bad for your own morale.
Mm. Yep.
I mean, it's crazy. I've got people that message me if I don't post like something every day. Like I've got like 15 people that'll message me like, "Are you okay?"
I know it's. I mean, I don't really probably think I know anyone personally that's as dedicated as you with creating content on. You've got different guys, right? I'm not a content creator in that respect with creating the little videos online and stuff. I'm like a podcast creator. Like that's the content I create, stories, conversations. That's one thing. But then you've got you who does this. You can do stand up stuff, which I don't have the balls to do that. Right, to stand up and be. I haven't got the knowledge or the know how. I can say a funny or shitty thing online, but that's as far as it goes with me. But you're one of those guys that can, and you also go and create those clips. A guy like Joey Butts, he's a TikToker all day long. I don't think he even realizes it yet. He's just started doing TikTok, but his videos are TikTok styles that he'll hit the right one, he'll go viral for sure. But that's his style. So everyone has a different style in how they create content, and I just think it's fascinating how we all come together under that same umbrella and collaborate with these different things and have these conversations. I love it.
Well, I think that I don't, if Paul can agree here, like it's all the different platforms that we've been on, they're kind of like a crucible to weed out the people that can't hang or create like subpar content that nobody's interested in, or versus the people that like have a magnetism about them. And like with
You're
what you
right.
do, it's fantastic. You create a dialogue about subjects that people are interested in and long form and keep people's attention for long periods of time. Whereas I keep 30 seconds.
Yeah, and I think there's an art to that just as much is getting him for that 30 seconds to a minute, man, is tough because you have to know exactly your point and lay it down and capture that audience in an instant. I don't think I have the ability to do that like you do at all. Like mine is
Oh
a
man,
mine is a process where I'm like drawing them in and shaping up the story, and I know where it's going to get to, but I need time to do that. So it's just a different set of skills.
well, that's where my stand-up skills come into play too, because you've got a short period of time to catch the audience, and like if you get them within the first 30 seconds, they're pretty much hooked. And like especially if they're in person, but I mean, you know, doing things mobily is one thing, but in person, like damn, it's so much different. But it's still certain aspects of it translate. It's like being able to keep attention like through the build up of a joke, like through the setup. You keep people's attention through tags, like little funny asides, and then you build up to the punchline that people are waiting for. Like everybody's there for a payoff, and it's to laugh.
Mm.
And if you deliver, they'll come back.
Yeah, exactly. Paul, I think you were going to get into the stand-up side of things, right? Because you do like improv comedy, and you were going to go into the stand-up side of things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I still want to do that. Yeah, absolutely. I've been, it's always that thing though. It's like, oh, I'm going to, and then things just get busy. But I really, really need to at least explore that because yeah, and it's different than the improv. It's different than sketch. I mean, it's its own art form, and but I think it all kind of works together here with the podcasting and with the making of videos and content and you know. Uh, you're right with shorter stuff. It's like get to the point quickly, but I think that helps with stand up as well. Trim away the fat, just get down to the essence of it and reword it,
Yeah,
rework it. What's going to work on stage.
yeah. A lot of people like to
I
say that
think you'll be
brevity is
brilliant at
key.
it.
You know,
So they get through.
a lot of people say that stand up, like the key to it, brevity is key. Like using like this
Yeah.
the best economy of words, like to get to the point that you're trying to make. And yeah, I kind of like fight against that a little bit because I might speak broken English, but I know a lot of it, and so I'm a little bit wordy whenever it gets to like telling stories and stuff because I'm Southern, obviously. Can't tell by the everything about me. So we're storytellers by nature, and I think that it's all about being a captivating storyteller as well too, and using that economy of words like together at the same time to be able to make something that's uniquely yours but still relatable to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just
No,
love it
no,
because
go ahead.
I just love it because I think that laughter is one of the most honest emotions, and it betrays people sometimes. Like if you show me what somebody laughs at, then
Yeah, yeah,
that tells
like Will
me
Smith.
about like what
Yeah,
oh yeah, or what somebody gets pissed off at before they knew they were pissed off. Like,
yeah. You're
geez,
right. I think it's the best. You're right, and I think that there's guys like Benny Boom Boom over on Stereo who really his life is unstructured. I mean, he's not a structured guy. He goes in with no plan for anything. He's just a nice guy that laughs at everyone's jokes, and he's funny, and he draws these crowds, man, that just sit there and love him, and he makes everyone feel like they've been friends with him for a long time, even if he's just met them. So he's really great at that, and it's all because of his like his comical approach. Comedy, man, it's the best. It really is.
it's like a familiar demeanor. Like if you can
Yeah,
make people
it
feel
is.
like they've known you, then you're in. It's like um, comedy is like Paul. Do you write, Paul? Like, do
Yeah.
you write your
Yeah.
jokes
Yeah. Like,
down?
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm always writing, and I'm, like premises and ideas, and that's why I think I need this outlet of stand up to then explore that and see if there's something to that. But yeah, I write, and we used to write a lot of sketches when we were doing our shows, our live shows, but this was so long ago, and then you kind of get away from it because then you start acting, and other people are writing for you. um, but I miss it. I mean, the creation process, creating a show or anything like that. Yeah.
It sucks like whenever you have like a lot of plants, it's really easy to forget to water some of them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
Can you
you can
guys?
make it. Go ahead.
I was just. Can you guys give me the real like breakdown definitions of these different types of comedy? Right. So, stand up is something where you obviously you go away, you write your material down, you memorize it, you stand up, you repeat that same show because you've got all the like little story with the one line punches straight after to make people laugh, and maybe a 5 minute show or whatever it is for that person, right? Like a 5 minute comedy bit or maybe an hour if you're a famous comedian. That's one type, right?
Hmm.
Then you've got like improv where it's just on the spot stuff. That's like whose line is it anyway stuff, right? Where you'll get given a prop and you'll have to make shit up on the spot. Nothing's planned. And then your like your sort of your sketches or your skits that go along. They're like planned material that you'll act out. Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's pretty much exactly it. Sketches kind of like tend to be like what's popular at the moment, or like satirical in nature,
Mm.
poking fun at politics or other like things in pop culture. Um, uh, Improv is exactly like you said, just like on the spot, like be funny. Like if somebody just said be funny and hands you a prop and you work with what you've got. And stand up is like a production, like a play, I guess if you will. Like it's a one man show, and it's I don't know. You can make an argument for every one of them, which is the hardest because each of them kind of incorporate elements of the other. Like if you what the fuck was
Shut that bitch up.
that?
Yeah. it's good. I think probably for me, and it's different for everyone. The ballsiest one, like I think the ballsiest one, to write down material and stand up and get up and say it, because you have to be so confident that you're going to get the laughs, and if you don't get the laughs, that's where it hurts, right? You're up there just sweating bullets, going, "Oh god damn!" Whereas I like the improv stuff because I just like to think of something on the spot, and if it doesn't land, like you've got like so many fallbacks that you can do to move on from those no laughs, or even if you get a laugh, you still got to move on. That laugh's behind you now to get the next one. I like that stuff, Um, so
Yeah,
I admire and take my hat off to people doing stand up, man. I think it's a brave one, but probably the best one.
I, I'm I'm of that same thought too. It seemed like to me, my like main goal in stand up. It sounds kind of pretentious and preachy to say is to kind of lessen people's hatred through laughter, like
Hmm.
to make them realize that the reasons that they hate people for no reason, or they hate people for stupid reasons, and the only way to really change anybody's mind is to kind of make them laugh at their reasoning in the first place and realize, well, maybe the way that I'm thinking is kind of silly. So you just kind of have to like phrase it to them in a way that they come to the like conclusion that they came to it themselves, rather than sit up
Sure.
there and be like, "Hey, the way you think is wrong."
Mhm.
So, like with different crowds, like different areas, different crowds, you get completely different political ideations, religious beliefs, all that. And like if you can figure out a way that you can be universally funny, then like you're going to make money for the rest of your life. And with stand up, you've got the most honest feedback that you can ever ask for, which is laughter.
Mm, yeah,
So if you've got something that makes 60 people laugh, then it'll work in front of 3,000.
yeah, yeah.
And also, I'm a super huge on this freedom of speech, which I think stand-up comedy is one of
Oh
the
yeah,
last.
look, yes.
Yeah, it's one of the last fucking. I hate using the word bastions, but last bastion of free speech, like where it's okay to like poke fun at the people in power, and I think that we're getting real close to a place where we're going to see who exactly is in power. Because if you look at who you can't make fun of, then that's who you can point at.
Hmm. Yep, yep. Um, I find that as great as this online show concept, this digital show concept that we're doing with podcasting shows, comedy shows, all this stuff, Fireside, other apps of social audio, that the stand up element doesn't seem to stick or work properly compared to the improv aspect on these apps. So even though someone's really funny on stage as a stand up comedian, I see little bits. There's another app here. It's called. I think Paul, you might have put us onto it, and I think I've deleted it now. There's a comedy. There was a
Hmm.
comedy app where people get on and do those comedy
A, li-
shows.
a live show,
What's it called? Live,
a
live. Yes.
a
Yeah,
live
I
show.
live. Yeah, that's right. And it's like I know that these people, if they were in person, they'd be so funny. But when I watch it, I go, it's not that funny. And I think there's something with this stand up comedy where you're missing the live audience laughing at real time to those like that is kind of emotional connection by being in person compared to online. So I find that I'm not saying that it will never work. I think there's some sort of element missing that needs to be added somehow with stand up online like this, because you can watch a comedy show on TV on Netflix if you want, but they've still got a live audience that will laugh at the same time that will trigger your laughing too. And
Exactly.
when you don't have that on here, it seems dry and the person's not getting the proper feedback. I bet you their nerves are probably racking or something, and it's just not the same as improv where you can say your joke and move on.
Well, with stand up, you're kind of afforded that same like attention span. Like if you've got like a 10-minute set and you say something that isn't necessarily funny, you've always got the next joke that's just right next to each other. But that's the reason that comedy clubs see people so close together, because laughter is contagious, and
It is contagious.
we act off of cues, social cues. I mean,
Hmm.
we're we're made that way. Like we've evolved to be these like beings to fit into social scenarios and to not like stick out. But stand-up comedians are the outliers. Like we're the ones that poke fun, like or like say out loud the thoughts that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
But you know, it's on to the next joke if you say something that's not funny. And
Yeah, but
I
it's
just
like you said, that contagious laughter though is something missing by not being in person when it's online like this. So I think that again, there has to be some sort of element added to get the stand up comedy across the line like it would be in person. Maybe that's, and I don't know what the future holds of this online social audio slash show app like this, but if it was like watching, like everyone had little cameras from the audience that you could see their facial expressions laughing or something, might trigger it or change it or something. I don't know, but there's some element missing still.
yeah, I've tried to start this with Oculus. People that have the Oculus headsets, like you can. Uh, I've like been in the works of like a couple of times trying to set up like spaces for people that have those headsets to virtually be in an audience. Like it's got the room set up and everything. You just have to go up there. It shows you on stage. You be funny, and on to the
Mm-hmm.
next person. But I don't know how or why. Like, it always seems to be some kind of snag or hiccup in it.
Yeah, we're at the forefront of this sort of technology and what we're doing. So like, who knows what the future holds? But we'll get there, man. Like, I guess we're just part of the bigger picture of the pioneers leading the way into this thing. All of us here online right now, but we'll shape it, I'm sure.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
we are.
interesting. It's interesting that when I went to, I finally actually looked at the list of options. When you start a show, because normally I go to interviews, I go either celebrity or content creator, or so this time I actually went through the whole list. I don't know why, and it's interesting, that there is a segment for stand up and things like that. So I think that they're trying to see what a live show is doing over there, if we can do over here. And I mean, you guys saw kind of when, I don't know if you got to see when Dave Keckner and Paul Valancourt were trying out their thing. They're supposed to still be coming back, but so I'm wondering if this would lend itself to, because we can, there's interaction, we can stand in front of people and they can see us. So I don't know if that's kind of the plan, is to either do improv or sketch or stand up on this platform.
You're right with that, and just in you saying that, Paul, I just realised that if like what would complete the circuit? I think with me saying the missing element before with stand up comedy is that, say yourself, Paul or Keith, you went to a stand up show and you did your comedy still in front of a live audience, but you had another camera, or your camera that was filming you could hear the audience in the background. I think it would be just as contagious listening from online as though it was a TV show, and it would work. But when there's no audience and you can't hear those background laughs, I really think that, just as we're talking about this is that huge factor that's missing somehow. And the addition of laughing when you press the emojis, one thing is slightly delayed, it's not real. It's a crappy actual example anyway that they've got on here. But it still doesn't have the same element as hearing a real live audience laughing. So, yeah, it would work online like that if you still had a real audience in the background, I think, like it's being filmed live.
Yeah, it is. And another thing is that you have interference between people that are performing. Like, and not just that, it's you got to think of the people that populate these rooms that are stand-up rooms. Like, especially on Clubhouse and apps like that, it's full of other stand-up comedians, varying levels, like in their careers. Like, you've
Mm.
got, you'll never have like, well, I don't know. We've had Dane Cook on Clubhouse a couple times. We've had Jeff Foxworthy. We've had like Creators Comedy Central and shit like that. We've had big names and shit, but they don't do comedy. They talk about comedy because I think they know better. It's a really restrictive space, and
Mm.
I think that what I found. if it works on Clubhouse around a bunch of other nervous comedians that are so like caught up in their material and like how they're going to come off and being nervous that they can unpause and laugh, or like even if they're not, if unmute and laugh, or if they're already unmuted and you force a laugh out of them, then that's going to translate 10 times better to a live audience, because you've got one arm tied behind your back without them being able to see your face first and foremost,
Mm.
and without being able to like be animated on stage and act it out physically. That's another thing. So that's all about how well you are at getting your point across just with the auditory aspect of it. Like Dane Cook made a career out of physical comedy. His jokes weren't that great, but he sold every one of them. And like I got a lot of advice from him whenever I was on Clubhouse, and like I posted some of it to my Instagram, and I got a lot of like negative feedback, like, oh, don't listen to him, he's a joke stealer. I'm like, maybe he took like one or two jokes from people, but he didn't. Like nobody else is telling me like don't listen to him. It was like sold out Madison Square Garden like in a few minutes.
Exactly, man. You get all these people that fucking suddenly think they're experts and they're not. Like, I don't want to name any names at all, but there's a couple of people, even just recently, trying to tell me how long my shows should be, how I should interview people, and do I really think I'm intrude? I think I'm intruding on people's lives and all this stuff. I'm like, hell, back the fuck up. Like, I should take more advice out of your podcast. And that's right, you don't even have one. Shut the fuck up. I'm getting. I'm getting good feedback across the board for things, and maybe it's not everyone's cup of tea. I get that, but don't tell me how long my shows should be, because they go as long as they need to go. I don't even choose how long they are. They go as long as that person needs to talk, however that is, and things like that. So sometimes you get these people, like you said, they're trying to tell you what should and shouldn't happen, yet they're not selling out. Madison Square Gardens. The other dude is. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
listen to him.
Got
Yeah.
I've got a short little like just I don't know if you call it a philosophy or a rule about that. It's like I don't take advice from anybody that I don't take criticism from anyone that I wouldn't ask for advice.
That's a great one. I love that. I really love that. Because I still won't be rude, I'll still listen, but I know that as soon as they've finished speaking, I can get that fucking minute of my life back somewhere else, because I don't want to listen to what they've got to say, But other people, it's like I do want to hear what they've got to say. I do want to hear their feedback, and you just pick and choose what you want to use, right? But that's a good one. Like who you wouldn't ask for advice, you wouldn't take their criticism. But yeah, for the most part, I think that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a catch-all, but and pretty broad. But like if you're being a good creator and knowing like what you want to do and like what kind of product that you want to package and put out at the end of the day, that's the most important, because that's what people subscribe to is you. Like it's not like necessarily each show by show, but it's the consistency that you as a host have to offer.
Sure. I I definitely love people's feedback, and I'm fine with constructive criticism. It's just that I suppose what I'm talking about specifically there is a couple of different people at a couple of different times have come forward when I haven't even been looking or needing advice or criticism or anything. It's just like where it's quite fine, they come to criticize. I'm like, well, that's cool. Now be gone, bitch.
Yeah, it's annoying. It is. But
It's
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 part of it.
necessary, I guess.
Well, I mean, those people are on to the next person to tell the same exact thing to. It's cookie cutter
Yeah,
advice
yeah. Yep.
most of the time, I would say, unless somebody's like targeting you specifically to like be
Oh no, not
considered.
like that.
I was gonna say to be considerately inconsiderate.
No, it's not like that. Anyway, it's just, it's just that process I was talking about before. That you and I have been going through with that. As people want to see you succeed, they want to see you. They want to pull you down at the same time. I think it's not completely out of the woods yet, but I think for the most part, the worst part's behind it now. It was more happening towards the end of last year, started this year, and I just my mentality just changed to like, fuck you, like just cut them out, man. Like I think I used to react more last year than I do now, and yeah, I
It's
just
kind of
want to.
like
I just
all this that we put out is our baby, right?
yes,
You know, that's the way we look at it. You know, and we're very defensive whenever it's really young. It's a baby. You know, it can't fend for itself. But after we get better, our content ages, and it starts to get legs, and it starts to be a person of its own, kind of like your podcast. And we feel like, I guess, our content can speak for itself after a certain point, so we
I
don't
think you
feel the
couldn't have
need
put
to.
that in any better words, man. I think that's absolutely perfect. I think it's like when we started on a place like Stereo, and someone tries to come in at the start when nobody really knows each other that well, and they try to assassinate your character. Again, it's like a fragile little baby that no one knows yet, and you get really protective. Like we went to wars over there, with Elvis and myself and plenty of other people against different groups that would try and sabotage, and everyone's trying to step all over each other. And then after a while, you build your persona to a point where it speaks for itself. It's like you don't have to. Someone can come in and go, Rocksteady's racist," and everyone knows I'm not, because they know I'm not. But at the start, if they said it and you get labeled as a racist when you weren't, and you lose the chance to even defend yourself, so you get really fucking uptight about it, right? To defend your name from assassinating that character. And the same thing exactly with what you said with content. It's like it's your baby until it starts to fend for itself. People can have their opinion, and it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter because you kind of find your place where you want to be and how you want to create it, and you're just going to go down that track. And if the ones that like it keep growing, great. And if they don't, go somewhere else. Who cares?
Exactly. And not just you can refer back to the content if you want to know if someone's racist or not, and you don't even have to do that to a certain extent. People will stand up for it for you.
That's exactly what happened. People, I was using the racist example because it didn't happen to me specifically, but people know that I'm not right. Like I happen to mix with all groups over there, with the blacks, the whites, Latinos, the gay, the trans, the whole lot, man. Like I was just friends with whoever. It didn't bother me. So if someone labelled me that in that way, they would know I'd have people in those communities to defend me. You know what I mean? Because I had friends in each. So
Yeah.
and really, to be honest, I've only come across this division. Everyone experienced division in their life, but this division, like rife division on Stereo, through the understanding of America, man, it's quite bad in a lot of places. I'm sorry to say, but it's like, wow, I didn't know, like, and the Aussies and the English would get on and go, holy shit, man, like we can still say some like kind of racist jokes to each other, and it's okay because we're not at that level of racism where it's really like a hard line of fucking like you can't say that shit. Like, well, so now I certainly don't say that shit, understanding the sensitivity in a lot of Americans of what people have gone through. Like I guess from other ends of the world, they don't understand what a lot of people have gone through in the United States to feel as sensitive about these things.
Man, well, a lot of this sensitivity I've got being from here is manufactured because we have kind of we've rewarded. It's like outrage through justification through outrage. Like the person who's the most angry. Oh yeah, they're justified because they were angry. It's just an ass backwards approach to the way that you should like talk about social issues. That's not the way. You don't listen to the loudest person in a room whenever you're trying to find reason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we've kind of rewarded that, and that's getting us away from the freedom of speech because it's a slippery slope to like police speech. And we're kind of like a lot of people are represent a small group of people are representing a lot larger group that don't necessarily share their values or beliefs, because the people that are spouting this nonsense don't even know what their beliefs and what really offends them. Like, I like they usually just look around to see, okay, well, will I look cool if I say that this pissed me off? Like, do I seem unique? Like,
Mm.
if I say that I've got a different take on this, it's the whole I like to call it the, oh shit, what am I saying here? Yeah, people don't know what they're pissed. It's like Will Smith with the, whatever that show was. Didn't know that he was pissed off till he looked over and saw her, and then acted. That's not a genuine reaction. That's fishing for to like go along with the whatever you think that somebody like more important or like the majority feels. We don't have genuine reactions anymore. It's besides laughter, it's funny. Laughter will betray you. Like, I can tell some jokes and that are really fucked up, and I hear a, and then it's silence for a second, and then one person laugh, and then it just like the floodgate breaks, and I'm like, okay, so that's
Yeah.
really funny, like because you didn't want to laugh at it.
True. Hey, sorry, Keith. I'm going to have to shoot off now. I've just got to go and get my son from school, like right now. I'm already a minute late from leaving.
Oh,
So
you're good, bro.
I don't know if you guys are going to keep chatting. I'll sit and listen. Otherwise, I'll duck off for now. But thanks for the chat, guys. It's been interesting to share those
No
perspectives, and
problem,
I'll
dude.
I'll catch up with you guys real soon for sure.
Hey,
You got it,
thank you.
Rock.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, man. Really, you helped me flesh out a lot of the things that I wanted to get out in the first place, anyway. So,
No worries at all, man. Thank you very much. All right, guys.
Okay.
Take care. I'll just drop down. Cheers.
You're the best, Rock. You're the best. Oh, thank God he's
oh,
fucking gone. Jeez.
I know, Jesus. They have schools in Australia. Holy shit!
Can't wait to shit in his bed.
The Amber Turd. Oh,
Amber Turd. Yeah, the turd herd.
actually, I wrote one joke about her, and I feel kind of ashamed for doing it. It's like, Johnny Depp was obviously abusive. She's obviously scared. Or no, no, it was Amber Heard's obviously scared. You can tell by her actions. Jesus, I mean, come on, people, be more sensitive. You know how I know that it's true is because my dog acts the same way when it shits the bed.
I thought you were gonna go with. He obviously scared the shit out of her. My dog acts the same way when he shits the bed. Oh my God, that's too funny, bud.
It's just a quick one. You gotta get quick to it and be on top of trends and stuff, which you know all about.
Sure.
You survived in the business long.
Well,
I'm not even in the business. I'm an outsider looking in.
you know who's really quick at it and gets it out there on stage is Mark Normand. If you're if you've seen him do some stand up.
I'm very familiar with him. He's one of my favorite, like terrifying views of what I could be.
Yeah. He's. I think you could be, because you've got that quick wit that he does, with his crowd work and whatnot. You can go on a tangent awfully quick, and that's, and he's got a great way of constructing these jokes. Whatever happened in the news today, he's on it, and I think that's what that's how you create a lot of content. And then I noticed you're a fan of Joey Diaz. I did a commercial with him. Well, that's when I first met him. We did a commercial for the NFL. I don't know if I ever told you this, for the NFL Network, like, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago. Right? I think he was just stopping the coke. But he had some great stories.
Oh, so he was just Joey Diaz instead of Coco Diaz.
He's been Coco. We always called him Uncle Joey. We call him Coco, Joey Karate. Uh,
This is
yeah.
Uncle Joey's joint, cocksuckers.
Hey, you cocksuckers! Don't.
But
Yeah,
holy shit,
you
he
take that
sounds
coke.
like he. Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
No, you take
you got
that
a better
coke,
one than me.
crush it. You just crush it right up. Crush that coke, and I would stick it under. I would stick it underneath the recliner. My wife she wouldn't know nothing. It was just under there. I was afraid the cat would get at it.
He sounds like Alex Jones with if he were born in the East River and
Yeah.
also natural birth in the East River.
Yeah. That was hilarious when he was
And
yelling
then,
at Alex Jones, or he was on the Alex Jones show, and what's his name?
oh,
Joe. He was with Joe Rogan, and he was just yelling at Alex Jones.
Yeah, that was my clip too. That was the one of them that I posted.
Oh,
It
did
got
you put
like a
that one up?
million.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
got like 1.5 million views or something. He's like, "No,
Holy
fuck you, cocksucker."
fuck you,
He's like,
cocksucker.
"I'll call Obama right now."
Oh my
He's like,
god.
and it's like, I thought I had cancer, because my right nut was bigger than my left nut, but and
Well, I
Alex Jones is like, "Oh no, 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 you're not, you can't say that."
I wonder
And
how we
Joe
could.
just right there leading him on the whole time, just poking the bear.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like Tom Segura, also Tom Segura, and Kreischer. He's good, but I like Tom Segura, and of course Sebastian Maniscalco. Just, they're not as vulgar as Joey, but pretty funny.
Yeah, I think Joey's curated his own audience as being like the dirty uncle of the group.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the one that comes to Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner and everybody's like, "Hey, Uncle Joey's going to be here, okay? Don't listen to what he says, but just don't not pay attention to him."
Well, when I first saw him perform, it was at Universal City. There used to be this Latino night, and I forget who the hell was it. Mike Robles? No, Ernie G. Ernie G used to do this. He used to have a room at Universal City when I first moved to LA, like in early 2000. So I would just go there because it was like it was Latino night. But I was like, let me see, let's see who's doing comedy, see what the competition's like. And when I first saw Joey, he literally took my breath away. I thought I was gonna die, because he was almost just that stream of conscious, talking about fucking and sucking and finger banging me.
All the animalistic sides of
Yeah,
what we think about every day.
yes, yeah, and he took my breath away. I was like, oh my god, like I couldn't breathe. The only other time I laughed that hard was when who the hell? Oh, Borat.
So,
Um,
oh yeah,
when he
I
was
love him.
wrestling the fat guy, his manager. He was wrestling his manager, and the guy was naked, and like his face ended up in his ass. So I guess that just shows you the level where my comedy's at. But it was one of these things where it's like I can't fucking breathe. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna have a heart
Well,
attack.
I think that a lot of where Sacha Baron Cohen's laughs come from is I think that we've got to know him over the years and we realize that he's not this idiot. Like he's a very intelligent guy.
Sure.
And like, well, at least mine is, it's like looking at, him as a regular person versus in character, because a lot of people, like, it's an inside joke to us. Because a lot of people watch that and they're like, "Who's that guy?" They don't, not even realizing that it's a character.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course. See, I first heard about him from my friends that had gone off to Boom Chicago, the improv place in Amsterdam. So they came back with all this British comedy. That's when I first heard of The Office, the British Office, and then they're like, you got to check out this guy named Ollie G. So we would watch Ollie G and be like, this guy's brilliant, because it was his early characters. I mean, the guy went to what, Oxford or whatever. I mean, or Cambridge, I think. I mean,
Yeah,
so he's a brilliant, satirist. Yeah. So
and
I
it's
first,
funny, just that like fart jokes being told by a genius hit different than fart jokes than somebody telling just fart jokes for the sake of fart jokes.
yeah, that makes perfect sense.
It's like, see, there's a motive behind one.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just like, it's. I was having this conversation with somebody just like the night before last about how there will never be another Richard Pryor or another George Carlin, and there's not a space for it anymore. Because you take most of what Richard Pryor's material was and you apply it to now, just like George Carlin's, and it's just seamless almost.
right, right.
and it was a lot. It was long form too, a lot of it, and I, that I guess goes to speak about the way that people used to consume content. Like if you turned on the TV, it was for a reason, or if you like bought a special on pay per view, it was for a reason. Whereas like we have all this other shit for free now. Like I don't know, I disagreed with them because it's like there just hasn't been another one yet.
No, and there probably won't won't be. I mean, I guess there were people like Louis C.K. He was,
That's exactly who I made one of the arguments for,
yeah,
like Louis C.K.
Bill Hicks. Back in the,
And holy shit, like you're naming my list verbatim.
really, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's really. I mean, Joey Diaz, not in the smart way, but just in the fact that he doesn't. I guess back then, like Richard Pryor wasn't worried about getting canceled because it wasn't a thing, but um, but Joey Diaz, knows there's cancel culture going on, but he doesn't give a shit.
See, and that's one way of staying ahead of the curve. I think is to address it and already have your like main audience concreted. And Joe Rogan is the new Johnny Cochran. Like I don't care what anybody says, he's got the golden touch. If you go on his podcast, you're selling tickets.
That's amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it like I love the way that he actually puts on his friends, and because a lot of people have never heard of Duncan Trussell if it weren't for him.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
A lot of people never heard of a lot of people if it weren't for him. But
Mhm.
like, he's using that spotlight responsibly and generously at that.
Sure.
It's, just the same way that Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer are products of him as well. Their work stands for itself. The machine, that joke, well, fuck, that's a fucking classic. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Did you see the photo I took with Bert? I gave him one of my 18-inch cigars, and he was fucked up. It was during the Las Vegas Comedy Festival, like I don't know, 3 years ago, maybe 2, 3 years ago, probably three.
shit, no, I didn't. When did you post that? Oh,
It's on my Instagram. You know what? Maybe I'll repost it.
I would. I mean, anytime something like somebody's blowing up or anything like that, I would repost it. Like it's not like it's not like bragging. It's after a certain point, it's like, look who I'm around. Basically, like you don't get in these circles on accident. I don't believe. Like it's just a kind of a
Yeah,
testament, and especially if you caption it the right way, like
yeah,
be like, oh, well, the right way instead of just being like trying to piggyback off. Because,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
but I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's one thing as well.
I think you do.
I make all this stuff by myself in a hole here in Kentucky. I can't wait till like I'm allowed to travel out of the state.
You're what?
I can't wait till I'm allowed to travel out of the state.
Wait, is that true or no?
I don't know, I'll leave that up to you, buddy. I ain't made it to California yet, and I've had people asking.
All right, I get it. We'll get to the bottom of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When you come out, well, you've got a place in Vegas. If you want to come out to Vegas.
See, that's exactly what I was like explaining to Roxette is what the whole like vehicle that I want my Instagram to be is just I've got places in all 50 states pretty much like that I could stay at overnight or if I
Yeah,
wanted to or places I could perform at. That makes the country get a lot smaller.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's the only way I really know how to put it. I've tried to explain that to people before and they're like, "What do you mean your world's gotten smaller?" And I'm like, well, imagine if you wanted to go to California from Lexington, Kentucky right now. That's a one-way trip for you. I've got 400 stops in between.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And these are all people that have reached out. I wish I should. I don't think. Well, no, I guess I didn't know you because I was there. When was I there? Like a year ago. I was in the Lex.
Yeah. I remember that. I was on Clubhouse at the time. I think that was when we were in like with uh Dan Levy and the other on Clubhouse and shit.
Yes, yes.
And I wish that we had got to meet up because I'm a lot better in person.
I would certainly hope so. No, I'm kidding. Um, I met nothing but nice people in Kentucky. I was really surprised, because of course there's this stigma. It's the South. It's this. It's that. But we had an amazing time. I hung out at this bar at a bowling alley, and yeah, it was fantastic. I had a great time. And where do you fly into in Kentucky? What's
Bluegrass National. There's Louisville. Um, there's a couple little like kind of sub airport stations you can fly into if you're like transporting illicit, materials.
No? Well, I flew. I must have flown into Lexington, right, or Louisville. How?
Yeah, I would say in one of those two. Bluegrass. Let's see, Lexington is Bluegrass International, I think,
I
because
guess
that's the only one that we have. I think that takes in like international flights.
what's the bigger one?
Honestly, I have no idea. It's not often that somebody asks me a question I don't know the answer to.
I can't. Well,
I
I
can
can't.
look it up real quick. Louisville Metro. No, that's a bus station. Jesus Christ.
But that's
I
that's
do
where
have.
that's where we
How
flew
did
in.
you liked it? You had a good experience here.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You
I
didn't
mean,
stay long, huh?
what's that?
You didn't stay long, huh?
Not long enough. I would have stayed longer because it was so much fun. And I mean, I still got phone numbers from people that want to hang out. I almost hooked up with this lady. I was supposed to take her to go see comedy the next day because Tomlinson, I forget what her first name is. She's a stand-up comedian, younger, was performing, I think, in Louisville or Lexington. And then we just ended up not going. I think we got too drunk the night before. So it was just, I couldn't make it. But yeah, the people, and I mean, they were like, hey, next time you come back, you're staying with us. I mean, it was ridiculous. I was like, wow, this is real like Southern hospitality. So I had a great experience.
I didn't mean to mute myself. Was it Taylor Tomlinson?
Taylor, yeah, yeah, yeah. She was performing, so I was trying to get tickets because we have a few mutual friends, and then it didn't happen. So the lady that I met there, lady, I don't know, she was probably like in her 40s. So I said lady, but yeah. So we ended
Handsome
up.
woman.
She was a handsome woman, sturdy, handsome woman. I just saw her photo. I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it was that broad from from Kentucky."
Yeah, that's the thing with bourbon. It gets in us, and we're hospitable as fuck.
Yes, yes, you are.
Until like, see, you went to the Mecca, the cultural Mecca. See, the rest of Kentucky is all these outliers of outdated ideas.
Ah,
That's when you start hearing the whole "I'm not racist, but," you know,
I'm not a racist, but
yeah, and you know that you're gonna hear something racist after that. But that's a hard but.
yeah, that's right. That's right. When you started out that way, it's
I
like
always like to say you can disregard anything anyone says in a sentence before the word but.
it's got to be
Like,
racist.
no, it's like, I love him to death and everything like that. He's a good person, he's real funny, but that's when you're gonna find out how somebody really feels about you is after that but. So I like to call that Southern double speak.
Southern double speak.
Yeah, we
Bless,
can give backhanded compliments like nobody's business.
bless his heart.
Yeah, that's Southern for fuck you. There are people around, but fuck you. I don't want them to hear me say that, but I don't like you. Maybe that's a little bit tongue in cheek, but it's easy to be tongue in cheek when you don't have teeth separating. Oh, I just made that shit up. That sounded good in my brain, so
Sounds good. No, that sounds good.
it's like I like to say. I sound like the Confederate flag just popped a little hole in the corner of it and started talking shit to you. That's me. But Paul, man, I've loved this. I don't want to keep you any longer. Like I know that you got shit to do. I don't know if the Vegas ever sleeps or if that's means its citizens never sleep. But I'm sure that you got to at some point. But
I
thank
got
you
to,
and
yeah, at some point, and only because I'm getting up somewhat early tomorrow because we were gonna I was gonna do a show tonight at 10, and then all of a sudden I noticed that you were doing your show, and I was like, but then it worked out great because they were like, can we push it like another half hour? I'm like, no, let's just do it tomorrow. So we're doing with this guy that sang the theme song to the original Pokemon theme song. Uh,
Pokemon. The opposite of how you like approach STDs.
how's that?
You got to catch them all. No.
Yeah, you got to catch them all. So yeah, I'm gonna interview Jason Page because he's in Vegas to do a show. But this dude sang with Meatloaf. He sang with, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, he was classically trained. Like,
yeah, he was the lead singer of maybe Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Does that sound familiar?
yeah,
Uh,
I do that every day. It's on my phone.
that's right. That's right. But yeah, I mean, he performed with Luther Vandross, with Ray Charles, with Patti LaBelle. I mean, Ricky Martin. Everybody. This guy's done everything. So he's in Vegas to
Oh,
do a Pokemon thing.
holy
So
shit! Can you imagine like doing all that, having all those accolades, and being known for the Pokemon theme song?
that and man, that's how he's making his living, man.
Fucking
Autographing the
royalties, baby.
yeah, well, yeah, royalties, but also like busting packs open, trading cards and autographing and doing all that, man. Comic Cons.
Look,
Yeah,
that's such a huge part of my childhood. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real cause. Train them is my cause. Yeah, yeah. I
well,
mean,
we're
Jesus,
doing the show sometime tomorrow, probably around noon. So if you want to pop in, pop on
I
in.
would, I would love to. And you will understand this. Probably not like a lot of people, but like you create a lot of content, and like I feel like what you create is disproportionate to what you consume. I don't watch YouTube. I don't really watch Instagram. I'm on there to get my
Yeah.
stuff out, and I'm off.
Do
And
do you think that you need to consume it in order to know what's out there, or no?
a very small part.
Yeah.
Like I get a temperature reading basically is the best way I can put it, and go from that. Like I'll notice what's dominating, like in like content wise on my feed, and then like what's on my YouTube homepage or what's on the news. What's on the news is the best, honestly, because one upside of our news being like the way that it is now is like not necessarily reporting what's accurate, but being the
Mm.
first to report it. That's great for content creators.
Right, right, right.
So I mean, they don't have to get all the details right. Neither do you. You're afforded that luxury.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Sometimes I stop myself because I'm like, you know what? I don't even know if that's true. And then I think about it. I'm like, well, fuck it. No one else cares.
Exactly. Like view it through the scope of Fox.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely. It's like fuck, it, put it out there, entertain
Fuck
people.
it. Roll it.
Well, if I, so okay, so you've motivated me. I got to start putting stuff up on YouTube because my shorts have only gone, I think. The one I posted from last year, from when I was in Kentucky, and I did a short with what's her name? Her name is Jennifer. She's on Bold and the Beautiful, and she was she was in the sitcom that I was working on, and that one maybe got like 1,000 views. So I was like, oh, okay. So it started off good, but then everything else I've posted, but it's so far and few between. It gets 5 views, it gets 6 views. So I just got to come up with a short that's going to hit, or I'll just go and repurpose everything, but without watermarks, of course, and put it up and see what happens. But you've inspired me to do that. So if you think of anything that you think I should do, or if you want to collaborate on something, let me know, and we'll
I
see what
would
we
love
can
to,
do.
man. Honestly, like I'm so tired of being in this bubble, like
Yeah,
creatively speaking. Like it's it's a desert out here, man. And look,
yeah,
nobody understands like what I'm doing, and I don't even really understand what I'm doing fully. But I've got an end goal in mind, and I'm okay with whatever like path it is that gets me there. But nobody else like really knows like what I'm trying to do, and they just think, that, oh well, I don't know what they think I'm doing. I don't really take in a lot of fucking negative comments. I try not to because
hmm
that's the if you let people really like infiltrate what like you and get in and like start to actually dictate the way that you make stuff. That's how you start making cookie cutter content. That's how you start doing TikTok dances and lip syncing to shit.
right, right, yeah,
Which TikTok rewards, which as a Chinese owned company, what better way to destabilize America than to like push like reward stupid content and kind of repress intelligent conversation.
yeah.
Kudos to them. It's brilliant. So I'm brushing up on my Mandarin.
Shishi.
oh, oh shoot, I watched a lot of Naruto, so all I know is like Nandayo means you're stupid in Naruto.
What is it? Nandeo?
Nandayo. Like,
Nandeo?
I feel like,
Nandeo?
that's the most culture this house has seen in years. The walls are weeping right now.
Nandeo?
But yeah, it's just I don't know. I've got this like comedy's my only way that I see of me being happy in the end goal. And if people think that I'm selfish or weird or whatever for trying to pursue it, then
Yeah.
all right.
Well,
It's like
you gotta follow. You gotta follow your dreams, man.
what Jim Carrey said. Um,
Yeah.
he said, "Never let anybody like stop your childlike wonder, your that childlike sense of exuberance and whatnot, like
Yeah.
your playful heart."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I loved what he said. He's like, my father, he could have been a comedian, but he went with what was a steady and a stable job, and I watched that stable job like I watched that not be a thing in his life. I just watched it disappear. And so I'd rather take a chance on doing what I love than to fail at something that I don't.
Yep. Wise words, man. Wise words.
After all, I mean, our own happiness is all we have at the end of the day, and other people can't gauge your happy.
Right. Right. Right.
And if you start letting other people dictate your emotions, that's how you fall into the cog of just being a viewer rather than a contributor. And I'd like to contribute something.
Yeah.
Even with this dialect, which I can do like, fucking, I can do impressions, but I can't do a straight like impression of somebody that ain't Southern. It feels weird to me, and I don't think I have an accent. But yeah, it's just it's my therapy,
hmm hmm
and other people tend to like it, and I just need the algorithm to acknowledge it. That's a sad thing to say, because that's the only way that you get put into a bunch of eyes is if you satisfy that algorithm. So there are steps you got to take to make it happy, and that's the grunt work, I guess.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like we're slaves to this algorithm.
It's just a precursor to what's to come.
Yeah, yeah.
It, I love all this. I love talking with like-minded people like yourself too. It really it motivates me as well.
Well, yeah, we got to figure it out. That's the thing. And I mean, but for me, it's very inspirational. I mean, and I hope, and obviously, I think it might be for you as well to to you know to see that it works. I mean, my goodness, you put up those videos, and then they just went crazy, and I'm like, God, like, why did I think of that? Like, but that's the thing. It's like art. It's like, well, I could do that. Well, yeah. Well, then why didn't you? Why didn't you put that
Yeah,
that urinal up on the wall, and call it art? You didn't, did you?
that's exactly my line of thought. Like that this was the first time that I've actually ventured away from doing what I think is comedy and tried to like satisfy the masses versus like a small group of niche people that get what my humor is like. And I know that sounds a little bit pretentious, but I do have a I'm highbrow for I'm lowbrow comedy for the highbrow crowd, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
It's but I don't have that luxury of having a curated audience that's already concreted in, so I have to have some kind of mass appeal at some point, and I guess I found it. Thank God for Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yeah, yeah. Well, wasn't there somebody said that once about appealing to the masses? if you want to get rich or something. I mean, I
I've
forget what.
always said that every time I find myself agreeing with the general consensus, I have to take a step back and reevaluate.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because comedy is two things. It's either going with the flow, it's Kevin Hart, or it's Carlin.
Right, right.
And, and those two could never do the comedy that the other did
No.
because it's just not who they are, and it's all about being honest, I guess. Unless you're one of these people that just steals other people's shit. We won't mention names, but yeah, in the short time that I've been doing comedy on on Clubhouse, like just virtually, I've heard a couple of my jokes, like different iterations of them, and I don't know, they might have been mine, they might not have been, but I didn't do them in front of a crowd, so I guess it's up for grabs. So
Sure. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
my my fault for not concreting that into the fucking literature of comedy, but comedy's always going to be the same to me. It's whatever makes you laugh. Just be honest. Be honest about it, and that genuine like aspect about you will come through because that's the most consistent compliment that I've ever gotten is that people say that I seem genuine and that I'm just I don't know, I'm kind of comfortable like talking about uncomfortable things too. So
Right,
I take
right,
that
right.
I take that as a compliment.
Right.
Which I'm still getting used to taking compliments. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Self promotion and stuff. I still got to take a shower after I post like anything about myself doing well. But you know, other people have to recognize you before yourself, and that's weird. Like I know that I'm great at this. I am. I mean, I've had a whole life of fucked up shit that like prepared me for it. I've used
Hmm.
comedy as a crutch for so long. It's like watching Forrest Gump whenever he starts running with those like braces on. Comedy's been my crutch, and I'm so used to it I can run with it now. It's just it's weird, but it's sad that comedy never comes. It's weird to me that comedy never comes from a happy place. Like It's
Right.
one universal thing. It
That
sucks
is,
though because I've kind of needled it down to even a more specific thing than like having a fucked up life. It's oh shit, I don't want to get like too downerish, but wish one of your parents were sick.
so you can come up with some comedy.
Yeah, I mean, how early did you have to start like maintaining people's moods and reactions and to keep like a some kind of semblance of normality? And it's always something. It's always one of them. I don't know. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
I pay attention to trends and you know well that's the way to do it. It's trends as much as it is, unless you're timeless, because there's no timelines for someone who's timeless. Like Carlin or
Yeah.
Pryor. It's funny. Pryor's last name. There's no one. There's nobody prior or after him that's going to be like him. I like
Before or after. Yeah, that's true.
I like to call him the Phoenix, rising from his own ashes of a freebasing crack accident. But
Oh, and he, definitely made fun of himself for that. I mean, my goodness.
yeah, it's a very healthy exercise in owning your faults.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was reading an article the other day. It said self-deprecating humor is bad,
I
and
hate
I was
self-deprecating humor. I hate when it happens to me. No, I'm just kidding.
well, yeah. See, we all do, and it's all about how you frame it whimsically, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
right.
But I think that what they've misconstrued, like and like kind of equated incorrectly actual self-deprecating humor from somebody making a jab at themselves in the expectance of a compliment on the other end of it from someone else.
Right.
That's not self-deprecating humor. That's fishing,
Yeah.
and it's annoying and it's ugly. But true self-deprecating humor is you maintaining your ego and owning your faults for everybody else to see, so that they might realize, okay, it's okay to feel this way. I'm not the only person. It's subtle, but it's subtle, but it's not. It's one of those things. It's not a fucking science, but it's there, and it can be repeated. So that's closer to science than most things. It's what do they say? Success is whenever preparation meets talent, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, you have to be prepared. Yeah.
I'm trying to put in the work because I've got a late start on this. I didn't start comedy whenever I was 19, 18 years old. Started
Right.
when I was 30. And damn, I think that I've almost put in enough
Have
to where
you
I've kind of,
you've done stand up? I mean, in
yeah,
front of people and stuff? Yeah.
yeah. Actually, funny story. Like I imposter syndrome my way right into it. My third gig I was paid for. Like, and apparently that doesn't happen. Like,
No, that's very rare. Yeah.
I mean, I got like a headlining gig at Side Splitters in Tampa. I drove all the way to it. And I,
Wow.
mean, I had a whole weekend off of just meeting someone by happenstance, and they bought that I was a seasoned stand-up comedian, and
Nice. Nice.
fuck it, fake it till you make it. Like I've been paid several times after that, and so I mean, I guess I consider myself a professional comedian, even though I've like offset the learning curve.
Yeah, if you've been paid, you are a professional comedian.
Oh man, it's so weird to me. Like I got paid $500 for a weekend, like, and that was 15 minutes a piece. And I didn't even get paid for the last day because they paid me to not do the last day because I was taking the main dude's like crowd from there, and I was like, I'm not even from here. How the fuck am I taking a crowd? But I'll take your money. Yeah,
Oh my god.
Florida's a
So
different kind of monster.
now, how did you hook up with him? What happened?
How did what?
How did you connect with him? Did they see you perform somewhere else, because or was that like your third time performing?
Oh, it was all through Instagram,
Oh, okay,
like all of it. And I guess I had enough followers where they thought that I must have been some type of established like
sure.
comedian, and I never told them the otherwise.
Yeah, yeah,
And we negotiated like you do, and there was that. It was just like, holy shit! Well, I'm here. I skipped a few steps, but
sure.
I performed, and I performed well, and I was really happy with it. I'm very critical of myself, so if I was happy with it, then I know other people were, and that's the thing. I always work on me, always,
Yeah,
because I'm where the funny comes from, and if I stop working on myself, then that's where it dies. I guess
yeah,
sounds really sanctimonious and really like I guess a little bit conceited, but I don't see. I'm just now getting to where I can get to the point where I can give myself a little bit of praise
yeah,
to what
yeah,
I'm good at. It takes a long time. A lot of people never find out what they love. A lot of people never even introduced to what they would be great at. And it's just it's a fluke. It's a one in a million chance that I found out that people respond to what I like to say is funny, and they agree whether they want to or not. And it's goes back to a conversation I had with Dane Cook. Not to drop names, but it's I don't like I said, I don't think you talk to these people on accident, or you get into like the chance to actually speak with them on accident. He said to be undeniably funny, and that's it. Just consistently be undeniably funny, and
yep,
I
yeah, yeah.
I can
You can't argue with that.
no, and I can frame everything in a funny way. I have to.
Hmm.
Wow, God damn it, that's enough patting myself on the back. Jesus Christ, Paul. I'm uncomfortable now. Like I'm over here and like, why don't you talk shit about yourself a little bit? That's what I'm hearing inside my head.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
But yeah, dude, if you ever like, I talk to me for 30 minutes tomorrow or an hour tomorrow, and I can help you get like 1,000 views on your shorts, like the same way that you get five now.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's chat in the next few days, and then and see what we can come up for a plan for my YouTube channel. Because I mean, I have what 1,100 followers, um, half half a million views, but they were all from a long time ago. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's all in a year, like a year quarter.
yep, yeah, yeah. It's got to be 4,000 hours within the last year, and so I'm over the thousand. I'm over that hump, but now I just need, you know,
I just think it's crazy that they don't have a system in place for like shorts to get monetized.
I right. Well, I mean, they would probably be giving away a lot of money. I mean, I'm guessing is that,
Which which I feel like they could afford, but
yeah,
it 180,000. Like I kind of took it as a little bit of like an insult, like that I'm not going to get paid a cent whenever I got paid for 30,000 views on Facebook, and like I don't get paid for 20 million on YouTube yet.
Right, right.
But know your spots.
Yeah,
Always know your spots, man. That's that's
that's it.
that's more classic fucking advice from I think that was Richard Pryor too.
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
So I mean I take little lessons from everybody that came before me and people that are around me now, and you put those two together, mixed with the crowd. That's a bet that you can't lose because with stand up comedy you don't have any more honest of feedback than laughter.
Hmm.
And if you listen to the audience after fucking 10 years, you've got something that will work every time. As long as you stick with it and listen to the audience, it's going to work
You
because
will.
there's no more honest feedback than that. It's just being able to stick with it until then.
All right. Well, I'm gonna maybe be busy with this Pokemon singer, but I don't know. Let's chat tomorrow or the next day, whenever you have time.
Sounds good, man. Just shoot me a message. Hopefully you don't get Mewtwo'd.
All right. I'll see you, my friend.
All right, see you, Paul.
Take care. Bye.
All right, everybody, and that concludes our talk with Paul Vato and Rocksteady, the mysterious Australian. And it started out as a shit show, and it ended up as something beautiful. So that just goes to show you, hey,